It's time for high school football, presented by Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 and the Q92 Sports Network. The best Stark County football is heard right here all season long. Whether you're in a car, at home, or on the go, the action is live on Q92 and streaming on the Q92 Facebook page, X, and our YouTube channel. Now, let's take you live to the stadium and our broadcast team for tonight's kickoff on Q92 and the Q92 Sports Network.
Here they go! Touchdown! Good evening and welcome to tonight's broadcast of high school football on Q92 Radiosports.com. I am Ryan Keller. Alongside me, my broadcast partner, Antonio Hall. Coach, welcome to the matchup between the Jackson Polar Bears and the Perry Panthers. Both these teams kind of on a little different trends as of late. Jackson winning 2 in a row. Perry, they've struggled. They started off hot 3-0, and they've lost their last 2 games. So coming into tonight, it's kind of if Jackson can continue their role, or if Perry can get back on the winning slide and get Coach Lino his first Federal League victory.
Yeah, definitely a lot on the line, especially for Perry. Like you said, on that 2-game losing skid, not having a win yet in the Federal League. So tonight they might be out a couple guys due to injuries and a lot of adversity to battle, but that's why you play this game.
Yes, that is why, because you never know, especially once you get into Federal League play, you really have no idea. You see a lot of out-of-conference games and things like that, but I think you really get a gauge of what your team is made of when you start getting into Federal League play.
Definitely. Very familiar staffs, very familiar teams. Just a lot of familiarity, a lot on the line, especially in this game. Perry and Jackson being a rival. Perry traditionally being more of a ground game team, and Jackson being more of an air attack, and same tonight. So we'll see where tonight takes us, but it's going to be a fun ride.
Yeah, we're here at Robert Fife Stadium in Jackson as we get you ready. We got a bug already in this as we get you ready for tonight's matchup. We do have 6 other games going on in the broadcast area as part of our Score 7. Hoover and Glen Oak, Orville at Canton South, West Branch at Minerva, Northwest at Lake, Salem at Alliance, and our Q92 game of the week, Green at McKinley. We're going to get to preview all of these games, and you're going to get to hear from the broadcast teams live on location as we get ready for kickoff between the 3-2 Perry Panthers and the 3-2 Jackson Polar Bears. We're going to step away and take a break. When we come back, we'll start breaking down some of the other games and listening to the broadcast teams. This is high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 Radiosports.com.
From the daily driver, a heavy hauler, to a high-end auto investment, the Sarshone Auto Group is one of Northeast Ohio's leaders. With 6 locations, Sarshone Ford in Alliance and Randolph, Sarshone Chevrolet in Randolph and Garrettsville, Sarshone Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Dalton, and the Sarshone Auto Gallery in North Canton. The Sarshone Auto Group. Find out more at sarshone.com, an official partner of the Cleveland Browns.
It's time for Purple Raider football. Catch every snap, every score, and every big moment all season long on AM 1310 WDPN. This year, it's even easier to follow the 13-time national champion, Mount Union Purple Raiders. Listen live on AM 1310, the WDPN Facebook and X pages, and streaming on the Q92 YouTube channel. Sam Berkwin and Ryan Bevere are back in the booth, bringing you all the action. Don't miss a minute of Mount Union football on AM 1310 WDPN.
Looking for quality glass and mirror work you can trust? At Cardinal Glass and Mirror in Canton, we handle it all, residential, commercial, and industrial. From window replacements to custom glass and custom mirrors, we've got you covered. We're a small, locally owned business, and we live by one promise. If we won't put it in our home, we won't put it in yours. Call today, 330-478-0075. Visit us online at cardinalglassmirror.com or stop by at 1857 Whipple Avenue Northwest in Canton.
Hey, sports fans, want the latest local sports news, game photos, coach and player interviews, and live play-by-play coverage? Then follow Q92 Sports on social media now. We're on Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, YouTube, and SoundCloud. Like, follow, and subscribe today. Catch the highlights, relive the moments, and stay connected to your hometown teams. Q92 Sports, your home for everything local sports. Real teams, real action, real coverage. Follow Q92 Sports on social media.
You're listening to High School Football presented by Sarshone Auto Group on the Q92 Sports Network.
And welcome back to Robert Fife Stadium in Jackson. It's homecoming night here as we get you ready for the matchup between the Perry Panthers and the Jackson Polar Bears. We're going to check in with some of our other broadcast teams across the area. First, we're going to check in with Ryan Bevere. He is at Glen Oak for the matchup between the Hoover Vikings and the Glen Oak Golden Eagles.
Thanks for hanging out here at Bob Clemens Field, where Federal League football rolls on Q92. The Glen Oak Golden Eagles are searching for their first Federal League win, and they're going to have a daunting task tonight to get that done against undefeated 5-0 in powerhouse Hoover. The Vikings look to add to their resume as well tonight before finishing off the regular season in the Federal League. But the first half of the season was nothing but pure dominance, picking up convincing wins against Louisville and Greene in their last 2 weeks. As the Eagles showed last week in their efforts against Lake, they can play with the big boys in the Federal League. It should be a good one tonight, and you can join me and my broadcast partner, Derek Dimmitt, for the call. From Glen Oak, I'm Ryan Bevere with Q92 Sports.
Thanks, Ryan. Next, we're going to send it to Canton South, where Jay Wilhelm has the call between Orville and Canton South. What's up, Jay?
Good evening, everyone. We are on to week 6 of this 2025 Ohio high school football season on the Q92 Sports Network, brought to you by the Sarshone Auto Group. I'm live here inside Breck Bueller Stadium as the Canton South Wildcats welcome in the Orville Red Riders in this packed conference matchup. Orville comes into tonight with a record of 4-1, 2-0 in conference play. They are on a 3-game winning streak as this is their 4th road game in the last 5 weeks. They'll look to stay hot in their pursuit to a conference title. Canton South comes in with the opposite record of 1-4, 0-2 in conference play. They've had a tough stretch of opponents as they are on a 4-game losing streak after falling the last 2 weeks on the road against Manchester and Northwest, respectively. It doesn't get any easier tonight as they come back home against the conference leader. This Wildcat team has hovered around the 14 to 16 offensive point output mark all season, but will have to eclipse that 20-point mark if they want a shot at getting back into the win column tonight. We move toward the back end part of the regular season schedule here tonight, and you can join me on Q92radiosports.com to catch Canton South Orville. Kickoff is currently scheduled for 7 p.m. live from Breck Bueller Stadium in Canton South. I'm Jay Wilhelm, Q92 Sports Network.
Thanks, Jay. We're going to step away and take a break. When we come back, we got more games to get into and to preview, plus breaking down this one. Antonio Hall had a chance to go down and talk to both coaches, Coach Jay Rohr and Coach Spencer Lino, and we're going to get those as well. So a lot happening as we count down to kickoff between Perry and Jackson on Q92radiosports.com. We'll be right back.
RG Drag, Stark County's premier career center, offers programs that prepares its students at the high school level for careers and continued education beyond high school. Upon completion, RG Drag students have an immediate opportunity to obtain a well-paying job in many exciting career fields. We offer everything from culinary, dental assisting, engineering, sports turf and landscape, welding, and so much more. Contact RG Drag to find a program and career that's the perfect fit for you. RG Drag, where careers begin.
When it comes to sports, Sam Berkwin brings the heat. Catch the Sam Berkwin Show weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. on AM 1310 WDPN and streaming live on the WDPN Facebook and X pages, plus the Q92 YouTube channel. From the Browns to the Buckeyes, the Guardians, Cavs, and your local high school teams, if it's making headlines in the sports world, Sam is talking about it. It's the local sports talk you want. The Sam Berkwin Show, weekday afternoons on AM 1310 WDPN.
This is head coach Jay Rohr from the Jackson Polar Bears. You're listening to high school football on the Q92 Sports Network.
And welcome back to Robert Fife Stadium. We count down to kickoff between Perry and Jackson. And we got some more games going on as part of our Score 7 across your listening area. Next, we're going to head to Minerva. The Lions and Coach Slates, they've got that thing rolling, but a big test tonight against the West Branch Warriors. Let's check in with Matt Corrali.
It's the feel-good story of the year for Stark County High School football in 2025, the Minerva Lions, who since 2015 have eclipsed nothing but seasons of 2 wins, 1 win, and even 0 wins, have found themselves at 4-1 at the halfway point of the regular season and tied for first in the Eastern Buckeye Conference standings. A big reason for that is their new head coach in Zach Slates, who comes over being the head coach of the last 4 years of the Perry Panthers, turning Minerva into a winner, in large part thanks to Slate's bringing over the wing T offense he used at Perry. Tonight, it's the biggest game in the last 10 years for the program, as they welcome EBC powerhouse, the also 4-1 West Branch Warriors, who are coming off a commanding 48-7 win at home against Howland. Some key names to watch for in this one include West Branch's Swiss Army knife in Jeremiah Thomas, who has ran for over 180 yards and has over 200 receiving yards on the year, and Toledo recruit Gavin Gregory, who's West Branch's leading receiver at 21 catches for 275 yards and a touchdown. For Minerva, listen for the names of Timmy Kirkpatrick and Nate Linkus to be said a lot. They have 1,000 yards rushing combined through the first 5 games of the year. If Alliance loses to Salem tonight, the winner of this one will have sole possession of first place in the EBC. Find out who takes this heavyweight fight with Robert Coleman and I streaming live right here on Q92 Radio's YouTube channel in just under half an hour with kickoff set for 7 o'clock. From Heinz Stadium in Minerva, Matt Corrali, the Q92 Sports Network.
Thanks, Matt. Next, we're going to head to Northwest and Lake. Can the Blue Streaks keep on rolling? We'll find out tonight. Let's check in with Mike Dixon.
Welcome to Lake Blue Streak Stadium, where the 5-0 Lake Blue Streaks get a non-league interlude against the Northwest Indians. The Indians arrive in Week 6 sitting at 3-1 after a Week 5 win over Canton South 24-14. QB Brandon Venables contributed to the Indians' victory with 26-yard rushing TD and a 16-yard passing touchdown and 185 yards total yards passing. Running back Joey Medor had 22 carries for 152 yards and a late fourth-quarter touchdown to help seal the deal for the Indians. Logan Alman also led the team in receptions with 11 catches for 115 yards. The Lake Blue Streaks come into Week 6 sitting number 1 in Region 5 computer rankings at a 5-0 record with wins over South Range, Boardman, Rocky River, Perry, and a 35-21 win over Glen Oak in Week 5. This season, the Blue Streaks have scored 31 points in every single game. The Blue Streaks have 866 rushing yards, 903 passing yards, and a well-balanced offense that's led by Alex Quire and running back Davis Matson. Lake Blue Streak's Northwest Indians are set to take the field 7 p.m. kickoff here on Q92 Sports Network, presented by Charshone Auto Group. I'm Mike Dixon with Ryan Rowland. We'll see you at kickoff.
Thanks, Mike. We're going to step away and take another break. When we come back, our final 2 games, the one on our sister station, AM 1310 WDPN. You heard Matt Corrali talk about it. Salem at Alliance. That should be a good game over from Karis Stadium at the University of Mount Union. And then Green at McKinley on Q92. We'll get to those when we come back. It's high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 Radiosports.com.
From the daily driver, a heavy hauler, to a high-end auto investment, the Sarshone Auto Group is one of Northeast Ohio's leaders. With 6 locations, Sarshone Ford in Alliance and Randolph, Sarshone Chevrolet in Randolph and Garrettsville, Sarshone Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Dalton, and the Sarshone Auto Gallery in North Canton. The Sarshone Auto Group. Find out more at sarshone.com, an official partner of the Cleveland Browns.
Looking for your home for local sports? Head over to Q92radiosports.com, the official website of Q92 Sports Network. Catch every live broadcast of high school games and Mount Union sports. Stay up to date with the latest local sports stories. Check scores from around the area and never miss a game with our full broadcast schedule. It's everything sports all in one place. Q92radiosports.com, your local sports connection.
This is head coach Spencer Lino from the Perry Panthers. You're listening to high school football on the Q92 Sports Network.
And welcome back to Robert Fife Stadium in Jackson. We get you ready for the matchup between the Perry Panthers and the Jackson Polar Bears. We got two more games to preview here tonight. First, we're going to head to the University of Mount Union on our sister station, AM 1310 WDPN. The Quakers take on the Aviators. Let's check in with Sam Berkwin.
The 4-1 Alliance Aviators will play host to the 3-2 Salem Quakers tonight here at the University of Mount Union. Kickoff is all set for 7 p.m. Salem, as we mentioned, 3-2 on the year, a couple of losses to start their season to Poland and a very good South Range team. Then they would rip off 3 consecutive wins. They would take out East Liverpool, Canton Central Catholic, and Beaver Local. Meanwhile, the Aviators started the year off with a win at Parma Padua, a loss to Louisville at Mount Union, and then they would win their next 3 games. At Streetsboro, in a very impressive game, they would knock off Ellett up in Akron, and they would beat Canton Central Catholic last week by the score of 42-7. These teams have one common opponent. It is Canton Central Catholic. Salem beat the Crusaders. The Aviators also knocked off the Crusaders. Ron Johnson doing a terrific job with the Salem Quaker football program. He'll have his guys ready tonight. And we know what an outstanding job Aviator head football coach Tim Goodman has done. You know the Flyers will be set as well. You can join me and my broadcast partner tonight, Caleb Norick. The kickoff at 7 p.m. here at Kara Stadium at the University of Mount Union. The Alliance Aviators will get together with the Salem Quakers. And I'm hearing the scoreboard operator could be on high alert tonight. Sam Berkwin reporting for Q92 Radio Network.
Thanks, Sam. Finally, we're going to send it to Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. Clint Scroggs has the call with Brian Beatty between it's the Battle of the Bulldogs, the Green Bulldogs and the McKinley Bulldogs. Let's check in with Clint Scroggs.
The 1-4 Green Bulldogs visit the 4-1 Canton McKinley Bulldogs. Despite the record, Green has played with all of its opponents. Their losses are all by 1-score margins, including a 7-point defeat to defending Division IV state champion Indian Valley, and the last 2 weeks to Hoover and Jackson. The last 2 games have seen the Bulldogs fall behind before a second-half comeback brought them to the brink of victory. Quarterback Tyson Hunka was 12 of 15 for 243 yards and 4 TDs in last week's 38-35 loss. He also ran for 78 yards. Hunka has compiled 812 yards and 7 TDs passing and leads the team in rushing with 354 yards. Running back Evan Reed had 180 combined yards and scored 4 times last week, with 3 coming through the air. He's rounded into form after dealing with a hamstring injury since the preseason. McKinley had an easier time last week, jumping out to a 14-0 lead and beating Perry 28-18. Sophomore running back Kylan West piled up 192 yards on 13 carries, including scoring runs of 54 and 89 yards. Trent Hayden threw for 170 yards in a score, while DJ Britt had 96 yards on 10 catches. The Bulldogs ended with 302 yards rushing. While the offense has contributed, the defense has been the stalwart for McKinley. The Pups are limiting opposing offenses to 185 yards a game. They've given up a total of 30 points in the last 3 weeks. Junior linebacker Antonio Stevens has team highs of 45 tackles and 9 tackles for loss. Senior cornerback Chris Crook has 3 interceptions. McKinley has never lost to Green, going 9-0 in Federal League play and 10-0 overall. The Bulldogs to the north will attempt to turn their season around when they visit Hall of Fame Stadium. Join Brian Beatty and me for all the action. For the Q92 Sports Network, I'm Clint Scroggs.
Thanks, Clint. All right, now we can talk a little bit about tonight's matchup here at Robert Fife Stadium between Perry and Jackson. We had this Perry team last week against McKinley. You and I both felt that they were kind of out of balance offensively, where they didn't get their speedy receivers on the outside involved until late in the ball game. And at that point, they were already behind, just weren't able to come back and to get it within striking distance. So your Coach Lino tonight, I think, try to balance your offense up a little bit.
Definitely, especially not trying to crowd the box so much with your personnel formations, kind of spread them out, get the defenders outside the box and able to crease them inside, especially with the running backs that they have. I don't think you need to bring more guys to the party. Just give them a crease and let them mow over defensive linebackers and safeties, because those guys are impressive once they get to the second level.
Yeah, we saw Caleb Hunley come back after a collarbone injury last week. He only saw the field maybe 4 or 5 plays, and a lot of those plays he was used as a diversion. It'd be nice to give Connor Shepard a little bit of a break offensively and just let him do what he does on defense, because he's got 36 tackles, 6 tackles for loss on the season. But Shepard and Lemon have done a great job running the football. 967 combined yards, 11 touchdowns. But again, those 2 guys on the outside with Wilson and Foster, I want to see the ball in their hands more.
Yeah, but you have to be careful because you do have a sophomore quarterback. So you can't be in a position where you want to put the game in his hands. You want to pick your shots with him, give him easy throws, some hitches, some slants, which we saw them do at Warren, and it worked very well for him. So if they can come out, get them some easy throws early, get them in a rhythm, then they can dink and dunk and be methodical as they move down the field.
And we saw this Jackson team early in the season, but they were without their starting quarterback, Lucas Eckerman. They had, Connor Molleman was in at quarterback. Then he suffered an injury, and it was a tough start for the Polar Bears. Eckerman's back. They did lose their starting tailback, but Corey Jacobs has come in and has done a great job running the football. He's got 477 yards and 6 touchdowns on 66 carries the last 3 games since moving to tailback. So he has done a great job, and you've got Eckerman who's back there. He knows the system. He's been at quarterback since he was a freshman. So relying on him on your offense, and now having a guy who comes in and is able to run the football after Maurer got injured, that has to help Coach Rohr in his offense.
Definitely. But I think the key in this game is getting a run game started early for Jackson. I think that they can't be in a position to where they're trying to air the ball out and Perry can pin their ears back, do their fire zones that they like to do, and really get after him. So they need to establish the run game early. It's going to be hard against Perry, but if they do, things look good for Jackson.
And for Perry, last week we saw that be an Achilles heel to them, stopping the run. And you have to imagine that is something that was going to be a focus area for that Perry defense coming into tonight against Jackson.
Especially with Spencer Lino being a defensive coach, you know that his emphasis this week was when guys get to the second level or third level, we have to get them on the ground. They didn't do a good job of that last week. McKinley made them pay. So let's see if what they did at practice this week bodes well and they improve in their open field tackling.
And we do know they did some personnel changes and some different things on their defensive side, moving a different guy to safety and some other players to corner. Another point of interest before we get into our coaches' interviews is last week we saw that the tackle for Perry,
Daisy,
got injured. It'll be interesting to see if we see him out on the field tonight. He is not in uniform tonight. So that's going to be a big thing. Talk about stopping the run for the Perry defense. Having him in there was a huge proponent of that, and not having him there, you're going to have other guys, next man up mentality for Perry.
Definitely, and those linebackers now are going to have to be faster downhill because they don't have that big body eating double teams in front of them. So Shepard and the other linebacker are really going to have to be on their keys tonight because they might get more push that they have to work around in the run game.
And every Wednesday, you are on the Sam Berkwin Show. You join him every Wednesday evening.
Sammy.
And I was watching your interview, and something that you talked about, which I think is another big thing. Everyone is expecting this to be a close game, is going to be special teams. And Cooper Misner for Jackson, he's got a leg. He's an accurate kicker. We've also seen Perry. They've thrown their kicker out onto the field, and Price DiStefano. So special teams is going to be key as well.
I think so, especially kickoffs where you try to make the field as long as possible for the offense. And I think Jackson gets a little bit better position when they get the ball because I don't think DiStefano has as strong as leg. But they're both accurate. They both can hit from about 30 out. And this might be a game that comes down to a field goal.
And I think a couple years ago, this game did come down to a field goal. I believe Jackson hit a game-winning field goal or a field goal in overtime to win this game. So that's special teams is no stranger to either of these teams. And you had a chance to talk to both coaches before the game. Let's chat with the visiting Coach Lino from the Perry Panthers.
Antonio Hall on the Q92 pregame show. This interview is being brought to you by Fedora Football. Fedora Football is the football world's lifestyle brand. Follow them at fedora.football. Here with Coach Lino, head coach of the Perry Panthers. Coach, what's been your message to your team this week leading up to tonight's game?
How are we going to respond to adversity? Backs are against the wall. We're 2 games at game 3 of the Fed, right? We have something to prove. Our kids are excited. They're ready to bounce back. We've had a great week of practice, and that was the main thing. Fix the mistakes we made, learn from them, and just continue to get better in how we're going to respond.
Yes, sir. Coach, Jackson started out good, hit a couple of speed bumps. Now they're coming in a couple of weeks to success. What's your overall impression of this year's Jackson's team?
Yeah, they're very athletic. They have playmakers, especially on the offensive side of the ball, with their receivers and then their quarterback. They're getting healthy, right? And you can see that with the quarterback, the senior quarterback, and then with their transition with their receiver moving to running back. He's doing a really good job for them. So I would say they're explosive, and defensively they do a lot of different things, and we got to be ready for them, prepared for them.
Coach, last question. What's it going to take to come in here on the road and get a win tonight in the league?
Yeah, we got to stick together. We got to win individual battles, play by play, do your job, not turn the ball over and create explosive plays offensively.
Coach, thank you for your time. Good luck tonight.
Thank you very much.
I like a lot of what he had to say there. Coming in, taking over a program for, their first-year head coach, you're going to face adversity. Everything's not going to pan out the way you want it to. But to be play-by-play, position by position, win the small battles, and that equates to the bigger picture, I think is a great message. And, they said he hasn't won a Federal League game. They've got a lot to prove. If I'm a player, all those things right there are triggering sensors in my brain that are firing me up and getting me ready to go.
Exactly. And as a coach, you want to see how your guys respond to a challenge. And tonight we get the opportunity to see how Perry responds to that challenge. Coach called them out, said they have something to prove, so let's see if they prove it.
And then Coach Antonio Hall also had a chance to speak to Jay Rohr, the head coach of the Jackson Polar Bears. Let's check in with that interview pregame.
Antonio Hall for the Q92 pregame show. This interview is brought to you by Fedora Football. Fedora Football is the football world's lifestyle brand. Visit fedora.football. Here with Jackson head coach Jay Rohr. Coach, good start to the season. Hit a couple speed bumps. Got a couple W's the past couple weeks. What do you think about your team so far this season overall?
They're trusting the process. Again, a young and inexperienced team, no excuses. Injuries, it happens to every team, but they're trusting the process. They're trusting one another, trusting what the coaches are preaching and teaching. And again, not always happy where we're at, but certainly we're looking for a great opportunity and trying to get another W tonight.
Coach, Perry has a good running game, but this year they also have a couple guys on the edge that are dangerous. You being a defensive guy, what's your impression of this Perry offense?
Again, hats off to Coach Lino and their staff. This is a tremendous team, not just in the offensive side. It's really in all 3 phases. But certainly on offense, they do have a 3-headed monster in the backfield. They got some weapons that can catch the ball, and they got great size up front. So in order for us to win tonight, we got to play for 48 minutes, get off blocks, and make tackles.
Coach, appreciate your time. Good luck tonight.
Appreciate you, Antonio. Thank you.
Looking for quality glass and mirror work you can trust? At Cardinal Glass and Mirror in Canton, we handle it all, residential, commercial, and industrial. From window replacements to custom glass and custom mirrors, we've got you covered. We're a small, locally owned business, and we live by one promise. If we won't put it in our home, we won't put it in yours. Call today, 330-478-0075. Visit us online at cardinalglassmirror.com or stop by at 1857 Whipple Avenue Northwest in Canton.
You're listening to High School Football presented by Sarshone Auto Group on the Q92 Sports Network.
And welcome back to Robert Fife Stadium. You just heard from Coach Jay Rohr and from Cardinal Glass and Mirror. And now we're getting ready for some football as both teams are out onto the field. National anthem has played, and we are getting ready for kickoff.
Let's go.
Let's go. So let's see. I believe Perry is going to... Did not see the coin toss. Did you see the coin toss, Antonio?
No, I did not. So it's we'll see.
It's homecoming here tonight. They had the big inflatable polar bear right at the 50. Right at the 50-yard line.
They have it right on the visitor sideline at the 50, in the middle of the whole operation, the whole pregame. As a coach, you've had to deal with this here at Jackson. It is a pain in the butt.
So the polar bears are going to be kicking off. Perry will have the ball to start the ball game. Perry wearing the white tops with the black pants, the black numbers, the black helmet with the white P on the side. Jackson with the all purple pants, purple tops, the white numbers outlined in gold, and the bright yellow helmets. And Jackson will be moving from left to right. Across your radio dial, your TV screen, however you are listening here tonight. We appreciate you joining us. Once again, I'm Ryan Keller. He's Antonio Hall. This is high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 Radiosports.com. The run-up and the kickoff, and it is a good kick. Will be taken back at the 3-yard line. I believe that is Jonathan Lemon. Down the numbers across the 10, gets across the 20, breaks the tackle, out across the 25, and the Panthers will have the ball 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Really good field position. Lemon already kind of got his lather going, it looks like. Really good job by the return team. Starting right at about the 25-yard line. Perry's in a good start for the game.
All right, here we go. Cameron Treharn, the sophomore, in at quarterback, lined up in the pistol formation behind him, Connor Shepard, and they're going to give it to Shepard right off the bat. First play, picks up about 2 yards before he's brought down on the play by Jackson's, I believe that's number 14, Brady Sheets with the tackle for the Polar Bears.
Already Perry's in the 3-receiver set, trying to get some of those defenders out the box like they did in the second half last week. Minimal gain on first down for Shepard, but we're just getting going.
So 2nd down for the Panthers. Treharn in the shotgun. He sends Shepard to his left. 2 receivers to the right. Single wide out left. Man in motion now, and that's Foster. They're going to fake it to him. Right up the middle is Treharn, keeping it himself, and he'll pick up, I think they'll give him 3, maybe 2, and it'll be 3rd and 5 for the Panthers.
Wing was to the left side or bottom of the formation last play. They tried to run it off the left side behind that wing. They kicked the wing out, blocked out on the defensive end, and was able to get a couple yards there, but good job so far by Jackson's defense.
So 3rd and 6 for Perry. 2 receivers to the right. Treharn takes the snap. He's back to pass. Here comes pressure. He gets rid of it, and they're going to say that bounces off the ground and falls incomplete. Intended for Foster, and a punting unit after a 3-and-out for the Panthers makes their way onto the field.
Yeah, just a little too short for Foster to come up with that. He did break open at the last second on that comeback route. Treharn just wasn't able to get it to him. Good job by defense coming out, being stout in that first defensive stand.
And punting for the Panthers is Seth Green, the 6'3", 214-pound junior. He stands at his 15-yard line, takes the snap, gets a good punt away. That'll bounce and take a great Perry roll. That'll roll about 15, 20 yards, and it'll be Jackson football, 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Great job flipping the field on that punt. Jackson got tremendous pressure off the left side on that punt. It looks like he could have got a hand on it, but he just pulled up, played safe. Perry was able to get off a great punt, flip the field. Now we'll see what Jackson does on their first drive.
And taking the helm at the quarterback position, the 6 foot, 180-pound senior quarterback, Lucas Eckerment, will take the Polar Bears out onto the field to start off their first drive of the game with 10:29 remaining, no score after a Perry 3-and-out.
No, Coach Bedrick Bardwell is going to come out with something that Perry hasn't seen before in this first drive, and see how they react to it, see how they adjust, and maybe get a quick score.
And they're going to go with a flea flicker right off the bat, and he's got a man open and just overthrows him at the 40-yard line. Eckerman had his receiver, which was Rico Norsch, had a step on the defender, and that just falls about a yard or two too far out of the hands of the intended receiver.
On cue. On cue. I mean, that's right out of Coach Bardwell's handbook right there. Opened the game with a flea flicker. Was right open, streaking down the middle of the field. They just couldn't connect.
So the incompletion brings up 2nd and 10 now, still at the 20-yard line. And Jackson's going to go full spread, sends 3 receivers to the wide side right, single to the short left. Eckerman by himself. He takes the snap, little bubble screen over to the right-hand side, gets across the 20, and is immediately brought down by Connor Shepard.
No, that's Mr. Shepard.
Mr. Shepard.
The way he just hit that kid, that's Mr. Shepard.
Mr. Shepard if you're nasty. And that man is nasty. I've enjoyed being able to call him and watch him play. He is all over the field. And having Caleb Hundley back for Perry will help him get a little bit more rest once he starts getting acclimated more into the offensive system.
That's really going to help late in the third quarter and in the fourth quarter of these football games.
So Jackson goes empty again. Eckerman by himself. He's looking, throws to the left. That'll be short hopped at the 30-yard line, incomplete, intended for Gino Snizminski.
Sure.
Let me see if I'll have to see. I think I was close.
You'll be a lot closer than I would, buddy. So I'll let you have that one.
We'll get a correct pronunciation here. But Jackson with a 3-and-out of their own, and now their punting unit comes out onto the field, and that is Cooper Misner, the kicker and punter. 6'1", 180 pounds, gets a beautiful spiral punt. Taken by Foster just past midfield. He breaks a tackle across the 50, 45, and brought down at the 41-yard line. So special teams, it's about flipping the field. Perry's offense doesn't execute and pick up a first down. Jackson's offense doesn't execute and pick up a first down. But Perry, they get the better half of it with good field position.
Exactly, and that's the game of inches of football. It's not always about scoring. It's about creating adversity for your team and also creating opportunities for yourself. So great job for the special teams creating a really short field for Perry's second drive to start out.
And we mentioned him just a little bit ago. Caleb Hundley is in at tailback for Perry. Last week we saw him in 2-back sets where he was more of a decoy. This time he gets the handoff over the right-hand side, cuts it back up into the middle, and a nice run from Hundley as he picks up 3 very physical yards for the Perry Panthers.
Looked like Perry was running the variation of buck sweep where they have both guards pulling, the front side guards pulling to the alley to kick out, the backside guards pulling up in that front side A gap, trying to get their hat on second level defenders, and good job to get them 4 on the first down.
And we got scores coming in
already
to the scoreboard. Yeah, West Branch strikes quickly 7-0 over Minerva as they hand off again to Hundley right up the middle. He'll pick up a gain of 1 on the carry, and it sets up a 3rd and 5 for the Panthers.
Good job by Jackson's defensive line, the nose guard, trying to see his number. Looks like 58 or 68, but he did a great job right there taking on the double team, not getting pushed off the line and mucking everything up in the A-gap.
That was Will Angel Martinez.
Yes. I remember him and his brother. Very cool name.
Oh, I think we got 2 sets of brothers.
We got both 2 brothers, yep. Salazar's and Will Martinez's, yep.
3rd down, play action to Hundley. They throw it out into the flat, and that's going to sail. A little bit too much mustard on that pass intended for Nazir Foster, and it'll fall incomplete. Perry with the decision on their hands now, 4th and 5, whether to punt or leave the offense out, and it looks like the punting unit stepping out onto the field.
So far, both defenses doing a great job. Offense is trying to figure out how they can get a drive going. Now Perry has an opportunity to pin Jackson deep in their own territory for their second drive.
So punting is Seth Green for the Panthers. He stands right at midfield. And there's a penalty marker on that play, and that is a terrible punt or partially blocked. I couldn't tell. But that goes out of bounds after a net of maybe 12 or 13 yards. But let's see what this flag is It was thrown on the we are on the visitor side. It was thrown on the Perry side, and that's where we're at. I explained that terribly, and I apologize. We are on the visitor side with Perry. There we go.
That's right.
So I believe it was a false start on Perry. I'm going to decline this if I'm Jackson.
That was not a great punt at all. So if I can end up starting somewhere around the 30-yard line as opposed to the 2-yard line, winning all day.
So it will be. Let's see where they. So it's a net gain of 3 yards.
That was not what you wanted at that opportunity for Perry. I got a great opportunity to pin him deep, and you only gained 3 yards on that punt. Not great special team.
Yeah, Perry was at the 35, and now Jackson has the ball 1st and 10 from the 32. And Zeckerman's in the shotgun. He turns, hands it off, bouncing it out to the left-hand side, trying to get to the edge, and being brought down after no gain on the carry was Corey Jacobs, and it'll be 2nd down.
That time the defensive end on the far side did a great job of holding the edge and making that play just string out. The running back had to keep running east to west, and the second level was able to come up and corral them as they got to the line of scrimmage. Great job so far with that Perry defense.
That was Shepard and Lemon both in on that tackle. Those guys are just absolute workhorses.
Warriors, man.
So 2nd and 10 for the Polar Bears. Eckerman in the shotgun. Jacobs lines up to his left. Ball on the left hash. Turn. Hand off again over the right-hand edge. That should be a hold. And there comes the late flag as Jacobs is thrown out of bounds by Shepard at the 40-yard line, but a blatant hold right there, and that's what gave Jacobs the edge.
Jackson run the outside zone play. The offensive line got caught in a bad position, had to hold on to the defender, and it was very obvious that that one's coming back.
And that was a good defensive play by Michael DeSantis, the defensive end for the Panthers, who forced Jacobs to continue to go further and further outside and made it harder and harder on that right tackle. So a 10-yard penalty pushes Jackson back to the 23-yard line. It'll be 2nd and probably 20, right?
Yep.
2nd and 21 for the Polar Bears, as they swap out one of their offensive linemen and bring a skilled guy into the ball game. That was Michael Regenball, who just entered the game. So I imagine Jackson's going to spread things out a little bit here as they send 2 receivers to the wide side right, 2 to the left. Eckerman in the shotgun, Jacobs to his left. Back to pass. And here comes pressure off the edge, and he goes down. Sacked on the play by Perry's Caleb Lawan, who came off the right edge, and another big loss for the Polar Bears.
Anytime you're in the 2nd or 3rd and long, you can expect Perry to run some sort of fire zone. Coach Lino's been running that for years as a defensive coordinator. It's a great scheme. You drop 3 back deep. You have 3 underneath coverage, and you're going to bring 5 guys, try to get somebody home. Great job by Perry executing that blitz.
So 3rd and 26 now. 6:18 left in the first quarter. No score here from Jackson. Eckerman in the shotgun, turns, just hands it off to Jacobs. He tries to get to the left edge, and I believe that was Lawan again on that left side. He's still on his feet, though, battling for yardage, and picks up a few before he's finally thrown out of bounds, and a late flag. And that's going to be a late hit out of bounds, and it will be a 1st down for the Polar Bears.
You have them 3rd and long. They run a simple run play. They get about 6 yards. They're about to kick for 4th down, but you do something like that. That just gets them out of the hole they dug themselves into. Jackson now is going to have a 1st down close to midfield.
So we're waiting to get an official. There were 2 flags that got thrown.
Might be offsetting. They're talking about it.
I haven't seen an official come over to the Perry sideline, which is where we are. We are on the visitor side.
Yep, you made that clear.
That's why I did it. So, yeah, no one has come over here. The official is still talking to Jay Rohr. And we're waiting to. So that is Nazir Foster with the late hit out of bounds that gives the free 1st down to the.
Oh, wait, no, it's not a first.
It's not an automatic first down? Well, it technically should be fourth down now because it'll be a dead ball. Oh, so dead ball foul. So they do not get the first down. It is 4th and 3 for Jackson, and they hurry up now. Even after that penalty, that's a big break for Perry, that penalty doesn't cost you and keep this drive alive. As the punter for Jackson comes onto the field, that's Misner.
But that still could be huge for field position. I mean, you give him 15 free yards.
And Mazur gets a good end-over-end kick taken by Lemon at the 28, makes a man miss, and then is brought down after a gain of 3. So it'll be Perry first down at their own 32-yard line.
So far, Perry's defense has been impressive. I was questioning how well they could cover all these receivers and all these different route combinations that Jackson uses. Perry primarily has played balanced teams or primarily run teams. This is the first time that they've had to play a true team that spreads it out, 4 and 5 wide receivers the majority of the time. But so far, they've had really good coverage.
And I think a big part of that is the defensive pressure from the front. Eckerman hasn't had much time to stand in the pocket and let a route develop downfield. So Perry's front is doing a great job as well as the back end.
Definitely.
So 1st and 10 for the Panthers. And they're going to turn, hand this off to Hundley right up the middle. He gets to the 45, still pushing forward all the way down to the 38-yard line. So a good run from Hundley. Oh, that was Lemon, excuse me. Jonathan Lemon with the good carry for Perry. So they went Shepard, Hundley, and then Lemon. So each drive they must be rotating just to stay fresh.
Well, for a defense, that's going to be rough in the fourth quarter.
So they go a little hurry up on 2nd and 3. And they turn, hand it off to Lemon again up the middle. He's got a crease. He tries to bend it out to the edge across the 50, 40, 30. Foot race to the 20. Pushed out of bounds at the 15-yard line. A big gain for Jonathan Lemon.
Perry ran power to the right side. Once Lemon got to the second level, he was able to bend it back and cut it back against the grain, hit that backside A-gap for a huge gain for Perry.
Perry going hurry up right now. Lemon to the right of Treharn. They hand it off to him over to the left, and he is brought down by the right defensive end from Jackson. That's Alex Height, and it sets up a 2nd down for the Panthers.
That was a great job by Height, not letting him get outside, because if he did, he probably could have got to the end zone. So great. It wasn't an open field tackle, but it was a one-on-one tackle right at the line of scrimmage. Great job.
And the scoreboard has gone black.
Just like I did today with Mike. Antonio Hall went black, folks.
Our good friend Mike Voorhees was interviewing Coach Hall earlier today, and his camera cut out, and I just thought it was the funniest thing ever. Oh, so there we go. The scoreboard is back. And is that why they took the was it an official's timeout because of that? Must have been.
Somebody tripped over the extension cord and unplugged the scoreboard.
So action getting underway, back underway. 4:54 left in the first quarter. No score here, but Perry inside the RG Drag red zone. And they go 2 running backs in the ball game. That's Shepard and Hundley. Treharn takes, hands it off to Shepard over the left-hand side. He's brought down from the backside. That was a great tackle coming from behind by Jackson's number 87, Keegan Stanley, who did a good job with pursuit.
Perry in a split back formation. They ran power to the left. That left running back kicked out that in-man line of scrimmage. Shepard needs to keep it inside that block because that's where the hole was. He tried to go outside, and there was 2 guys waiting on him.
So they go with the same formation. Treharn in between Shepard and Hundley. They hand it off to Hundley. Hundley's trying to get to the edge. He breaks a tackle, still fighting to get to the edge across the 5, battling for the pylon and pushed out of bounds right at the 1-yard line. He picks up the first down for the Panthers on 3rd and 5. And now it is 1st and goal from the 1-yard line.
Perry in the same exact play they ran the play before to the other side, and they executed it perfectly. Hundley was patient. He let the play develop, Then once he got to the second level, he was able to break outside and get around the corner for a nice gain, almost scoring.
I imagine everyone in the stadium feels like I do. This is going to Connor Shepard. Man in motion from left to right. They turn. Oh, they hand it off to Hundley. Hundley walks into the end zone for the 1-yard touchdown run. Perry strikes first with 4:04 left in the first quarter.
Beautiful job on the ground that time. That split back formation was really giving Jackson fits. They were releasing or the front side running back outside to get up on that alley player, and then they still pulled 2 pullers from the backside, creating a big hole. Touchdown. Perry strikes first blood.
DiStefano on the kick for the Panthers, and that kick is up, and it is good. 4:04 left in the first quarter. The Perry Panthers strike first and lead 7-0. We're going to take a break. It's high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 Radiosports.com.
The weather might be getting cooler, but Tasty Cream on Navarre Road is just heating up. Open all year, Tasty Cream is ready to serve you fresh-made specialty burgers, Stark County's best conies, deep-fried mushrooms, crispy French fries, and so much more. To top it off, their ice cream selection continues to grow. Special flurries, homemade root beer floats, amazing brownie sundaes, and over 20 flavors of hand-dipped ice cream. Order online at tastycream.com or check out their Facebook and Instagram pages for events happening each month.
This is head coach Spencer Lino from the Perry Panthers. You're listening to high school football on the Q92 Sports Network.
And welcome back to Robert Fife Stadium. The Perry Panthers strike first. A 2-yard touchdown run from Caleb Hundley, his first rushing touchdown of the season. This is only his technically second game back. He didn't see a lot of time last week, but to be able to rotate the 3 running backs that they did in their first 3 drives, that's got to be a huge bonus for the Perry Panthers. So Perry kicking off, 4:04 left in the first quarter. DiStefano on for the Panthers. Back deep for Jackson is Rocco Norch, and I believe that is Micah Regenball. And the run-up and the kick, a great kick. That is taken, that's Max Cowles with the return. He takes that at the 2-yard line, tries to bend it out to the left across the 20. Stutter steps, breaks it back inside, and is brought down at the 23-yard line. So a nice return from Cowles for the give good field position to the Polar Bears.
Yeah, good field position, good coverage by Perry that time, but Cowles was able to go to the wide side of the field. The contained guy didn't do a good job keeping him inside, and Cowles was able to get enough to start with decent field position on this drive.
So Jackson will have the ball 1st and 10. They mark him at the 23-yard line. Their offense has struggled their first 2 possessions of the ball game. So Eckerman in the shotgun. Jacobs lines up to his right. They've got 3 receivers on the wide side right, and they hand it off to Jacobs. Tries to bend it outside. Does not get the edge. He'll pick up, I think, 2 yards on the carry, and it'll be 2nd down. You know, Coach, we saw a lot of trying to bounce it to the outside when we called the Glen Oak McKinley game, and they were going against, Glen Oak going against a speedier McKinley, just not able to get to the edge. And we're seeing a similar thing with Corey Jacobs, who keeps trying to get to the edge, but Perry's defense is just too quick.
Funny you said that because I was thinking the same exact thing.
Eckerman now rolling out to his right, and that's going to be knocked away, almost intercepted. Boy, I was trying to see if what was happening. Jaden Wilson cuts in front of the intended receiver Regenball and almost pulls down the interception, knocks it away, and now it's 3rd and long for Jackson.
Jackson that time running a sprint out to our sideline. Wide receiver had an out route, broke it to the sideline, but beautiful jump on the ball by that cornerback, almost came up with the interception.
So a big 3rd down for the Polar Bears, just not able to get this offense going early. Eckerman's got 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. He drops back to pass, and that is picked off. Overthrows his intended receiver in Max Cowles and picked off on the play. by Jaden Wilson. He missed the first one, but gets the second.
A lot of times you don't get a second chance and stuff, but they threw it right back to him and he got a pick. That time the quarterback and the wide receiver were on different pages. The quarterback thought the wide receiver was going to keep running. The wide receiver broke it back. Just miscommunication on what they saw. Perry was able to capitalize.
And the Panthers with great field position at the Jackson 42-yard line. Jonathan Lemon in at tailback. They send wing right and tight right. Now they shift to that tight trips bunch on the right-hand side. Treharn turns, hands the Lemon over the left-hand side. Stutter steps up to the 40-yard line and picks up 2 on the carry.
Panthers running counter away from that tight trips bunch. Before they ran it a couple of series before, they ran it to them. So now they're just trying to keep the defense honest, but good job by Jackson staying home, reading the guards, reading the keys for a minimal gain.
Got some score updates coming in. West Branch 21, Minerva 0, still in the first quarter.
West Branch can score in bunches,
in
man.
that game. Here it's 7-0 Perry. Treharn takes the pass. He looks to the right. Nothing there. Now he throws. He's got a receiver wide open up the sideline across the 30, 25-20, all the way down to the 15-yard line inside the RG Drag red zone. That is Jaden Wilson with a huge catch and run and puts Perry in the red zone.
Who was covering that guy?
Nobody.
Like, that's one guy that you cannot afford to not account for. They ran a power action. It was a play action. They ran the power action up front and sucked the defense in, but that cornerback bit hard, and nobody was covering Jaden Wilson out there on the edge.
And now Wilson's got single coverage on the short side of the field, on the far side of the field, wing and tight end left for Perry. Treharn takes the snap. He turns, hands it off to Lemon. Right up the middle, picks up 2. It'll be 2nd and 8 for the Panthers.
Panthers look like they have a nice rhythm now. Now they're getting a little pass game going in, sprinkling some easy passes, just trying to keep that defensive honest. But their money game is right there between the tackles. Now that they're smelling the end zone, I expect a lot more dose of some downhill runs.
So Foster spread out to the left, Wilson to the right. Now Foster goes into that trips bunch tight on the left-hand side. Lemon to the right of Treharn. They hand it off to Lemon. He dances around. Breaks a tackle across the 5. Down to, they're going to mark him at the 5. So great job from Lemon. I thought he was going to get bottled up, and he was able to escape the tackle and pick up good yardage. And now they bring in Connor Shepard.
He didn't break 1 tackle. He broke 3 tackles. Okay. That was an impressive run. And that's been Lemon all season. You know, he never stops his feet on first contact, keeps churning, keeps spinning, keeps moving, and is able to get a lot of yak. Like you said, now they bring in big number 0, and they expect ground and pound from here on out.
Yeah, they go split backfield with Shepard and Hunley, and they hand it off to Hunley again. Again, a situation where they could pick up the first down without scoring, and they do that. They pick up the first down, so now it'll be 1st and goal from the 3-yard line for the Perry Panthers.
Perry's still going to that split back formation like they did last drive when they're smelling the end zone. When you gotta account for Hunley and Shepard in the backfield, oh my God, that's a nightmare for defenses.
And if you hand it off to Hunley, Shepard's the lead blocker.
So,
you don't want to get in his way either. Same situation, split backfield, turn, hand it off to Shepard, full head of steam, plowing into the end zone for the score. Connor Shepard, a 3-yard touchdown run, and the Perry Panthers, after the turnover, are able to capitalize and get on the board again. It's 13-0 with 15 seconds left in the first quarter.
Bang, bang, 2 quick scores. Turnover in your own territory. Put together a nice drive, getting it done on the ground game. Score. Now you go up 2 scores right before the second quarter gets started.
DiStefano on to kick for the Panthers. Great job from the holder. Who is the holder? Is that Treharn? No, the holder for Perry is Cody Schaefer. That was an interesting snap back to Schaefer. He was able to get that down and get DiStefano to put it through the uprights.
That was a crucial play right there on special teams. Good job by that holder being able to field that snap and get it down just in time for that extra point.
And the Panthers up 14-0. And we'll leave it right here with the end of the first quarter coming up. But we'll jump into the scoreboard here. At the end of the first, McKinley 0, Green 0. Also Alliance 7 and Salem 7. Boy, this is a surprising one. Glen Oak 7, Hoover nothing. 1:18 remaining in the first quarter. Glen Oak 7, Hoover nothing.
Wow.
Was not expecting to hear that tonight. So let's see if the Golden Eagles can they can finally find their way back into the win column. Canton South 3, Orville nothing. And those are some of the updated scores from the games in the area. West Branch 21, Minerva nothing, end of the first quarter there. So DiStefano on to kick off for the Panthers. Like I said, 16 seconds left in the quarter. And the run-up and the kickoff. And another great kick from DiStefano, and that sends it into the end zone. So he's really putting some leg behind that, not giving the speedsters from Jackson an opportunity to get good returns. So, we talked about special teams, and that's another big one right there.
I'm going to have to recant my statement saying that Jackson's kicker might have the edge with the, the strength of the leg. But, man, DiStefano's booting it out there.
You know how they do shootouts in hockey?
Yeah.
They should do kickoffs in the NFL.
Let's do it.
Especially with how the NFL kicking has been.
I know.
That'd be great.
That'd be fun, man.
You make one, you scoot back 5 yards. You make one, you scoot back 5 yards.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'll take Brandon Aubrey, please.
Right.
So the Polar Bears offense makes their way back out onto the field. Eckerman and Jacobs in the backfield. 3 receivers to the wide side right. Single wide out left. Eckerman back to pass. He's looking down the left sideline. Almost hits the wheel route, but a great defensive play. An unbelievable defensive play from Jonathan Lemon. If he doesn't get a hand on that, that is to the house for the Polar Bears.
That was perfectly set up. That wheel route developed nicely. He had nice spacing between the defender on him. But like you said, last second, Lemon was able to come over and make a great play on the ball. If not, it's pay dirt.
That was a jumping, diving, reaching stop from Jonathan Lemon. And it sets up a second down with 10 seconds remaining in the quarter. Eckerman back to pass, looks for the crossing route, and that is great catch on the play from Jackson's Rocco Norch, who went down and made a great catch for the first down.
That was a shoestring catch. Eckerman doesn't look as accurate as he normally does tonight. I mean, his balls are kind of high or kind of low, but that was a great individual effort by the receiver coming up with that big play to move the chains.
And that's going to do it for the first quarter. The Perry Panthers lead 14-0. Second quarter action when we come back. It's high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92Radiosports.com.
Peace of mind. It's one of the most important benefits that we can offer at Friends and Family Credit Union. Welcome to Family Secure Checking. It offers unrivaled security to protect your everyday finances and purchases, as well as comprehensive identity theft protection and reimbursement coverage, credit file monitoring, benefits for travel, shopping rewards, and cell phone protection that includes repair or replacement for up to 4 phones on your cell phone plan. It's time to bring a friend into the family.
You're listening to High School Football presented by Sarshone Auto Group on the Q92 Sports Network.
And welcome back to Robert Fife Stadium. The Perry Panthers lead 14-0 over the Jackson Polar Bears. Start of the second quarter. Coach, Jackson needs to try to find a way to get this offense going.
This is a big drive. Big drive. They have to do something to at least try to get a field goal opportunity. Right now, Jackson comes out. Second quarter, 3 receiver set, 2 to the top, 1 to the bottom towards us on the visitor sideline. Jackson also has a tight end.
They hand this one off to Jacobs over the right-hand side, gets across the 35-yard line down to the 37-yard line. So good first run, a run on first down for Jackson. Their first 2 plays have seemed to always put them in 3rd and long,
right,
or
behind the chains.
Yeah, they haven't been able to find a groove in this offense. So we'll see what they can do here with the start of the second quarter.
Jackson doing the check with me, checking to the sideline.
They're going to go 3 receivers to the wide side right, single wide out left. Jackson now moving
empty
from right to left. Empty backfield with Eckerman. Swings it over into the right flat. That's caught. Spin move at the 40, and he will be right about at the line to gain for the first down. And that was number 10, Cowles, with the reception for the Polar Bears.
Jackson ran a bubble screen to the wide side of the field. It looked like Perry had him bottled up, but Cowles made a beautiful spin move back towards the middle of the field that freed him up. He was able to get 4 yards, about 1.5, maybe a yard away from the first down mark, third and short.
This is the first time we've seen them in a third and short situation. They hand it off to Jacobs over to the left. Spin moves across the 45, still on his feet at the 50-yard line. A great first down run. I believe that's Jackson's first down of the game.
I think it is. And that was a very physical run on third and short. They ended up getting about 7 or 8 yards. So if Jackson can continue to move the ball on the ground, that's going to bode well for that great pass game that they have.
And Jackson going hurry up, hand it off to Jacobs again over the left guard, and it gets a great push from his offensive lineman, a run that should have been maybe 1 or 2 yards. It ends up being a 5-yard carry and sets up 2nd and 5 for Jackson.
Jacobs made a great cut in the backfield, almost getting tackled at the line of scrimmage, but was able to wiggle free with a great head and fake move, get back inside the tackle, and got a 6-yard gain on the first down. They're like me out there running back.
2nd and 4 for the Polar Bears. 9:56 left in the first half. Perry leads 14-0. Eckerman takes the snap, swings it over into the left side. That's caught. Makes a man miss across the 45 and is pushed out of bounds at the 42-yard line. That was Sonorch, who has been the go-to receiver for Eckerman in this first half.
And he's a scatty little guy, ain't he? I mean, fast twitch, kind of built, center of gravity, toward not a very tall guy, but he also almost looks like a Welker or somebody out there, but just very twitchy, able to make moves in space. Great second down catch.
6 foot, 170-pound senior is Norch. Eckerman takes it, hands it off to Jacobs, cuts it back to the middle of the field across the 40, has enough for the first down. So, again, we've seen Jackson get their first 2 plays, put them in third and manageable, and they've been able to pick up first downs and keep this drive alive.
First down is so critical. You got to win first down as an offense. But how about the dead leg that running back has? I mean, that's 2 or 3 times on this drive. You hit somebody with a dead leg at the line of scrimmage, and it frees them up to get a 5 or 6 yard gain. Great patience, great vision.
Yeah, Jacobs is filling in for Chase Maurer, who was hurt. Jacobs, 6'1", 185 pounds, listed as a receiver and a defensive back, doing a good job carrying the football for the Polar Bears. Play action, Eckerman rolling out to his right, throws it out into the right flat, and that is caught by Cowles, and he'll pick up a few on the on the reception. I think they're going to give him 3. He'll be 2nd and 7.
Now you start to see Jackson getting in the rhythm. Now you start to see Jackson able to get things going, involved with the running game, do some play action, do some rollouts. So Jackson now starting to get more comfortable than the offensive side of the ball, but they have to do something to get on the scoreboard. They have to get about 20 more yards at least for field goal range, but I know Jackson's trying to get to that 7.
They said he just got back to the line of scrimmage, so no gain on that reception. Looked like a offsides on Perry. Doesn't happen, and Jacobs gets wrapped up. Again, no gain on the carry, so we've seen them go and get good yards on first and second down. Now they're stuck in another 3rd and long situation.
Yeah, to get that no gain on first down was huge. And then that time, Jacobs did a little too much dancing at the line of scrimmage for a minimal gain. Now you're looking at 3rd and 8.
And probably 4-down territory for the Polar Bears, who want to get on the board. Empty backfield, and he does the hard count and finally gets him to go offsides. That was Mason Heel, who jumped offsides for the Polar Bears. And like the last play, I thought he was offsides as well. So it looked like Jackson saw what I saw and like, let's try to hard count and get him to jump.
Now that takes Jackson to a 3rd down and 3 situation, maybe 3.5, but a lot more manageable than the 3rd and 8.
And you talked about their offense and being able to pass a little bit better. What they're doing is they're getting the ball out of Eckerman's hands a lot quicker too, and then that just eliminates the pass rush from Perry's defense that was really, really hurting them. So they're able to get the ball into their quick receivers' hands without having the pressure from Perry's front. Eckerman back to pass, throws a slant route, and almost intercepted again. That time it was Foster who went up and jumped the route off his fingers, and it'll be 4th down for the Polar Bears.
Perry was causing enough of a rush to make Eckerman not comfortable in the pocket. Again, he delivers another high pass that kind of sails on him. This is, again, I won't say the worst I've seen Eckerman all season, but he doesn't look like his true to form self. He's not comfortable back there in the pocket because of Perry's defense.
Yeah, the pressure got there, and they're so good on the back end as well. Their corners are doing a great job in one-on-one coverage.
Lights out.
And Jackson leaves the offense out on the field. 4th and 3. Eckerman back to pass. He's looking. He's got to step up in the pocket. Takes off a run. He's got enough for the first down, but takes a huge hit from Foster, knocks the helmet off.
That's going to be helmet to helmet.
And a late flag comes in from the back judge.
Eckerman did a great job recognizing everything was bottled up. He put his head down.
That was a helmet pop on Lucas Eckerman.
He got smoked.
And we'll see what the flag comes in as. Looked like one of the officials motioned for a face mask, but let's hear the call. So a face mask on Foster. That's a 15-yard penalty. They'll go half the distance, and it'll put Jackson inside the RG Drag red zone with 6:46 remaining in the first half.
Like I was saying before the call, great heads-up play by Eckerman, realizing everything was bottled up downfield. He cuts right through the A-gap, gets the first down, but he definitely paid for it. But that's what you do as a quarterback. You got to get the tough yards. He kept the chains going and was able to get 15 with that personal foul. Now Jackson's smelling the end zone for the first time this game.
And I believe Eckerman is out of the ball game. And Connor Mulliman, who we saw earlier in the season, is in at quarterback. We know he can throw the football, so Perry's defense has to be ready for that as they send single wide out to the left and to the right. They hand it off to Jacobs, dances around in the middle, breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle. Now is getting pushed forward by his offensive line after a pickup of maybe 3 or 4 inside the RG Drag red zone. It will be 2nd down from the 8-yard line.
Great hard run inside the tackles. Just putting your head down, getting what you can get, keeping your feet turning. Got a little help from his offensive line at the end of that play. But Jackson's getting a lot more physical as this game moves along.
And Jackson is in a situation where they can still pick up the first down without scoring. It is 2nd and 5, so they gave him 5 yards on that carry. Mulliman still in the ball game. Tighten wing to the left, single wide out left, single wide out right. Mulliman turns, hands it off to Jacobs. Jacobs trying to get to the edge, and he's not going to get there. Great job standing him up was the left defensive end for Perry. And that was Michael DeSantis. Again, we've called his name a couple times here tonight. And a big loss on the play from Jackson.
That time the front side linebacker was able to get downhill before the double team can get to him, causing Jacobs to try to bounce outside, but the defensive end was standing right there waiting on him. Great job keeping him bottled up on that play. Now we got a big down coming up.
And Jacobs is down as well. He's not going to be in for this next play. He started to walk over to the sidelines and then took a seat right on the 20-yard line on the far sideline to our left.
I think it's a cramp.
It looked like he was holding his left hand.
Oh.
So they're working that left shoulder while he was down onto the field, and he's going to make his way up and get off the sideline. So starting quarterback is currently out. Starting tailback is currently out. We'll see who Jackson puts in at the running back position as Carter Mulliman is in at quarterback.
Jacobs took a shot on the play before when he got that nice run on the first down. That time it didn't look like, anything special, but you never know in football.
Eckerman is back in the game. Mulliman is out at receiver on the far left, trips to the left, twins to the right. Eckerman by himself, empty in the backfield. He's back to pass. He's looking left, throws the slant route, and that's going to be tipped up in the air and falls incomplete. A good defense from Perry's Connor Shepard, who got a hand on that. And then Nazir Foster almost brought down the interception. It falls incomplete, brings up a 4th and 7 at the 10-yard line. And the kicking unit for Jackson's going to come out onto the field. Ball will be placed for a kick at the 12-yard line. So this will be a 22-yarder for Jackson's Misner. Snap back, hold down, kick is up, and it is good. So the extra point, the field goal, 22-yard field goal gets 22-yard field goal gets Jackson on the board. 3-0, 5:19 left in the first half. We're going to take a break. It's high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 Radiosports.com.
From the daily driver, a heavy hauler, to a high-end auto investment, the Sarshone Auto Group is one of Northeast Ohio's leaders. With 6 locations, Sarshone Ford in Alliance and Randolph, Sarshone Chevrolet in Randolph and Garrettsville, Sarshone Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Dalton, and the Sarshone Auto Gallery in North Canton. The Sarshone Auto Group. Find out more at sarshone.com, an official partner of the Cleveland Browns.
This is head coach Jay Rohr from the Jackson Polar Bears. You're listening to high school football on the Q92 Sports Network.
Cooper Mazier with I've been saying his name wrong. Cooper Mazier with the 22-yard field goal gets Jackson on the board. Perry leads 14-3, 5:19 remaining in the third quarter. All right, well, now we've seen DiStefano kick for Perry. Now let's see what Mazier does on his kickoff. He runs up and kicks. And a booming kick will fly into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Perry will take over 1st and 10 from the 20.
Jackson needed those points so extremely bad. At least now they can say they're on the board. That was the best offensive drive they had as far as their rhythm, mixing run and pass, doing some rollout stuff. Eckerman still doesn't look like he's truly on the money, but he was able to get enough of a rhythm that series to get his guys involved and get on the scoreboard.
And they were able to keep the drive alive, converting on third downs, which is something they hadn't been able to do leading up to that last drive.
Yep.
So Perry with the ball, 1st and 10 at the 20. Treharn drops back, throws it out into the right flat. That's caught by Foster. Makes a man miss at the 20. Makes another man miss. Gets to the 25. And then a late flag from the back judge. I believe that's going to be a late hit out of bounds on Jackson. And that should give Perry a free 15 yards.
Man, that guy is slippery. Makes another man, and another man, and another man.
Sounds like DJ Khaled out there.
And another one.
So a personal foul on Jackson, late hit out of bounds. I didn't hear the announcement with the number, but it takes Perry all the way out to their 42-yard line. 1st and 10 now, 5:09 remaining in the half. And they go tight strips bunch to the right. Now they shift over, send wing left, tight left, ball on the right hash. Lemon in the backfield. Turn, hands it off to Jonathan Lemon over the left-hand side. He's immediately stood up, coming up and filling. That was number 40 for the Jackson Polar Bears, Jack Galucci, who made a great tackle. That's a sophomore coming up and filling the hole on Jonathan Lemon.
That was a sophomore with that hit?
Yeah.
Wow. That was impressive. That was
6
textbook.
6 foot, 200-pound sophomore.
He filled that hole nicely.
So a gain of 1 for Lemon on the carry. 2nd and 9 for the Panthers. Ball at the 43-yard line. Single wide out, far side left at the numbers. 2 wings left. Now one shifts over. So wing on the left, wing on the right. Handed off to Lemon. He's immediately chopped down right at the line of scrimmage. And again, coming up and filling that hole. That was number 48 for Jackson. That is Reese Myers with the stop.
That time, no one blocked the defensive end. The wing back blocked out, the tackle blocked down, and the defensive end was standing right there in the hole. So the running back had to do something at the last second, tried to bounce it or cut it back, didn't work. But there was some miscommunication up there up front. And you know that they've got a few guys moved around because Daisy's out. That was probably the reason.
And we're going to have a timeout from Perry. They want to look at this 3rd and long. And we're going to step away and take one as well. This timeout is brought to you by Friends and Family Credit Union. It's time to bring a friend into the family. 5:38 left in the half. Perry leads 14-3. We're going to step away. High school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 Radiosports.com.
Looking for quality glass and mirror work you can trust? At Cardinal Glass and Mirror in Canton, we handle it all, residential, commercial, and industrial. From window replacements to custom glass and custom mirrors, we've got you covered. We're a small, locally owned business, and we live by one promise. If we won't put it in our home, we won't put it in yours. Call today, 330-478-0075. Visit us online at cardinalglassmirror.com or stop by at 1857 Whipple Avenue Northwest in Canton.
You're listening to High School Football presented by Sarshone Auto Group on the Q92 Sports Network.
And we're back at Jackson. A big third down for the Panthers. Treharn rolling out to his right, still rolling, throws, and caught on the sidelines. A great catch by Jaden Wilson and gives the Panthers a first down.
Toe tap, sweet feet. Great job understanding the situation, knowing where he was at. Got his foot down before went out of bounds. And what a delivery by the quarterback on the run to his right, keeping his eyes downfield, almost past the line of scrimmage, but didn't. Great delivery downfield, pitch and catch. Perry's rolling.
So 1st and 10 for the Panthers at the Polar Bear 45. Treharn in the shotgun. Man in motion now from left to right, and they're going to hand it off to Lemon. Up the middle, breaking a tackle across the 40 down to the 39-yard line of the Polar Bears.
Perry ran a split zone that time. Offensive line went left. The wing back on the left side came back across the formation and kicked out the man on the line of scrimmage. Beautiful crease in the backside A-gap. It naturally happens on that play. Lemon's great vision saw it. Now they're in 2nd and 5. Perry's offense continues to roll.
Jump to the scoreboard real quick. McKinley 7, Green nothing. 5:35 left in the second quarter. West Branch 35, Minerva nothing. Back here, we got a penalty marker before the play gets underway. And I believe this is going to go against the Panthers. So that's a false start on Perry's number 45. We've called his name here a lot today, and Michael DeSantis. That time for not a good reason. And it takes them back now at 2nd and 10, 3 minutes remaining in the half.
Now they're behind the chains, 2nd and long. Let's see what play they come out with. They have a great rhythm going right now, moving the ball methodically, dinking and ducking. But now you're behind the chains. Let's see what Perry does.
I'm going to throw a fade route to Jaden Wilson.
He's
got one-on-one. They hit Wilson with a comeback at the 40, and he picks up 7 yards. So a great passing catch there puts Perry in 3rd and manageable, gets out of bounds, stops the clock with 2:38 left in the half.
Yep, Jaden Wilson continues to impress me week in and week out. Every week you just see him get a little bit better. But, man, this kid is really special out there on the edge.
If they go one-on-one with him, I'm going to fake that and have him do a little stop and go up the sideline because that corner jumped quick.
Yep.
But they bring Shepard in the game at tailback. And they turn and fake it to Shepard. Treharn's going to keep it himself. He's trying to get to the left edge. He's got nowhere to go. A great job from Jackson's defense, not allowing Treharn to get the edge. I don't know if that was a miscommunication between him and Shepard. But a broken play is going to force Perry to punt and give Jackson the ball. And they've got 2:18 left. If you're Jackson, I might take a timeout here.
2:18 is an eternity to this offense.
And the clock continues to run. And I imagine Perry's going to let the play clock go down to 1 before they snap this back. And it's going to be under 2 minutes. They snap it. And the run-up and the kick almost blocked, but a good high kick. Fair catch called for and taken at the 10-yard line. And that was Cowles with the fair catch.
That time the penalty stalled Perry's drive. I mean, they were just moving the ball beautifully, and then that penalty gets them behind the chains. Now it's hard to play catch up. Great job by Jackson's defense on 2nd and 3rd down. Now they have opportunity to go down and score before the half.
So the Polar Bears will have 1:54, and I believe they've got all 3 timeouts remaining.
I believe so.
To try to get some more points onto the board. Plus, Jackson gets the ball to start the second half, and they've got 90 yards to go. 1st and 10. And both Eckerman and Jacobs are back in the ball game. They go trips to the left
with the wing.
Ackerman takes the snap and hands it off to Jacobs. Jacobs has nowhere to go. Connor Shepard read that perfectly. And Perry's excited, thinks it's a safety, but his forward progress was stopped at about the 5-yard line. Actually, they're going to mark his forward progress at the 8, so a loss of 2.
Perry trying to overload one side of the field. They have trips to the wide side. They also have the wing to that side, so you have a 4-person concept to the wide side of the field. They end up running the counter back to the other side. But great job by Shepard, staying home, reading his keys, coming downhill, making a great play at the line of scrimmage.
And a lot of time is run off the clock for the Polar Bears. They might be happy just going into halftime here as they hand it off to Jacobs again. And there was a big hole to his left. He tries to bounce it out to his right, gets across the 10, down to the 13-yard line. Now, if you're Perry, do you take a timeout? And I didn't see who took the timeout. So Perry did
Smart
take
move,
the timeout.
Coach Lino, smart move.
Yeah, 3rd and 11.
You got them deep in their own territory, big down, 3rd and long. If you can stop them here, you get the ball back probably with about 30 seconds. And the way your offense has been playing and the way your kicker's kicking, you can score before half.
So they put a couple seconds back on the clock. It'll be 59 seconds remaining in the half. This timeout brought to you by Friends and Family Credit Union. It's time to bring a friend into the family. So Jackson, do you run the ball here? Do you throw the ball here? Do you try to pick up the first down?
I definitely want to run the ball here just because I want to try to make Perry burn that timeout if they're going to get the ball back. Kick it deep, play defense. But if you throw it and you don't get the ball, now you just giving Perry the ball back with about 40 seconds as opposed to 30 and a great opportunity to score.
Yeah, so Perry's got 1 timeout left. So if they get a stop here, they'll have to burn their final timeout and have to try to go after the punt to score with no timeout. Mm-hmm. So we'll see what they can do. But they've got speedsters on the edge. Perry does as well. So we'll see what happens. Eckerman takes the snap, and they hand it off to Jacobs. He dances around, tries to get to the right edge. If he can get to the boys, he fast. Holy cow. That is the first time we have seen Jacobs get to use his speed getting to the edge. And he's got enough for the first down and then is pushed out of bounds. But holy cow.
He's a wide receiver for a reason. I mean,
wow.
Man, that was like a lightning bolt going up the right side of that field.
I can see why he keeps trying to get to the edge.
Right? Just got to get there. Just got to get there.
So 52 seconds left in the half. First down for the Polar Bears. Eckerman back to pass. He's got time in the pocket. He's got a lot of time. Now he's rolling out to his right and just throws this away with 46 seconds left in the half. There is a flag on the play.
I think it was defensive holding or pass interference.
So we'll hear what the got my crowd mic working today.
Nice. It sounds great, too.
See what the head official has to say.
DJ Kells.
Holding on the defense.
Yep.
24.
So defensive holding on Jonathan Lemon. That's going to be a 10-yard penalty, and that'll move Jackson down too. And ideally, they only need to get to, the 25?
Yeah. I mean, now if I'm Jackson, my whole mindset is shifted. Now we're going to go score.
And they still have timeouts on the board. They send 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Eckerman back to pass. He's got time in the pocket. He's got a man wide open. It's caught at the 30, all the way down inside the 20-yard line, down to the 16-yard line. The Jackson Polar Bears can strike with 38 seconds left in the half.
You knew it was just a matter of time before Jackson was able to get a one-on-one matchup with one of their big, fast wide receivers. That time he hits the skinny post down the middle of the field. He's running wide open. Great pitch and catch. Great concentration by the wide receiver. Now Jackson's in striking distance.
That's Micah Regenball with the reception, and it puts the Polar Bears at the 17-yard line with 38 seconds left and a timeout. Jackson takes the timeout. This timeout is brought to you by Friends and Family Credit Union. It's time to bring a friend into the family. What a pitch and catch.
Beautiful. It couldn't ask for it at a better time. Jackson's been struggling offensively in the first half. Eckerman's kind of been off the mark. Protection's been breaking down. But, man, what a huge play at a critical time before the Jackson Polar Bears.
So 38 seconds left in the half. Does it show timeouts up there? I can't see where it I was saying Massillon was losing?
I didn't see it.
Is that why everyone was clapping? I think that's why the Perry faithful were clapping. Let's see if we can get some scores here. Here we go.
Set.
1st and 10 for the Polar Bears. Eckerman by himself. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. He's back to pass. Quarterback draw. He's going to go right up the middle, spin move, and get down to the right around the 12-yard line in the RG Drag red zone. And we'll have another timeout from the Polar Bears. Again, all of our timeouts are brought to you by our good friends at Friends and Family Credit Union. It's time to bring a friend into the family.
I like that call. I like that empty set draw play right here. You're close to the end zone. You haven't shown it yet a lot this year. If he's able to make that linebacker miss, he probably gets another 5 yards. So that was and plus he had timeouts to burn. I really like that call by Coach Barterwell, the offensive coordinator for Jackson.
So Mississauga 13, Massillon 2.
Wow.
Yeah. Alliance 27, Salem 21. That one's a shootout.
I knew it would be.
West Branch 35, Minerva nothing.
Fighting Ron Johns.
Warren JFK 32, St. Thomas Aquinas 0.
Have they scored this season?
I don't know. I'll have to look. We'll look it up at halftime.
Yeah, let's look it up and see if Aquinas has scored this year yet.
Tryway 24, Fairless 7.
Say it again.
24-7 Tryway. So Eckerman in the shotgun with Jacobs to his left. He's going to roll out to his left. He's looking to the end zone. Coming up and making the tackle. Boy, oh boy. I don't think Eckerman saw him. Caleb Lawan split right through the defense and made a huge hit.
Wow. He came through there unannounced and violent. That was a great play by that linebacker. Reading that rollout pass. Eckerman did not see him because he was already past him by the time he got his eyes on him, and he just made a beautiful play on the quarterback.
And Jackson uses their last timeout with 2 seconds remaining. Again, this timeout is brought to you by Friends and Family Credit Union. It's time to bring a friend into the family. So Polar Bears trying to get another field goal on the board here tonight.
Make it a one-score game going into halftime.
And Jackson does get the football to start the second half. This will be a 33-yard attempt.
Well within his range.
Coming up at halftime, we're going to send it back to the studio, get some news from Jeff Mears, and then bring it back here, break down this game, and give you some more score updates. So here we go, 33-yard attempt. Snap back, hold down, kick is up, and it is no good. He pulled it to the left and misses the 33-yard attempt. Had the leg, just didn't have the accuracy. And we go into halftime with the Perry Panthers leading 14-3.
That's huge momentum going into halftime for this Perry sideline. Bend, don't break. You gave him a kicking opportunity after a huge play, that drive. But Perry is able to stand him up, send him away with no points. Now Perry has all the mo going into halftime.
Jackson will have the ball to start the second half. And, halftime score. Perry 14, Jackson 3. We're going to send it back to the studio, get some news from Jeff Mears, and then we will be right back here at Robert Fife Stadium. Once again, halftime score, Perry 14, Jackson 3. It's high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92radiosports.com.
RG Drag, Stark County's premier career center, offers programs that prepares its students at the high school level for careers and continued education beyond high school. Upon completion, RG Drag students have an immediate opportunity to obtain a well-paying job in many exciting career fields. We offer everything from culinary, dental assisting, engineering, sports turf and landscape, welding, and so much more. Contact RG Drag to find a program and career that's the perfect fit for you. RG Drag, where careers begin.
It's time for Purple Raider football. Catch every snap, every score, and every big moment all season long on AM 1310 WDPN. This year, it's even easier to follow the 13-time national champion Mount Union Purple Raiders. Listen live on AM 1310, the WDPN Facebook and X pages, and streaming on the Q92 YouTube channel. Sam Berkwin and Ryan Bevere are back in the booth, bringing you all the action. Don't miss a minute of Mount Union football on AM 1310 WDPN.
From the daily driver, a heavy hauler, to a high-end auto investment, the Sarshone Auto Group is one of Northeast Ohio's leaders. With 6 locations, Sarshone Ford in Alliance and Randolph, Sarshone Chevrolet in Randolph and Garrettsville, Sarshone Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Dalton, and the Sarshone Auto Gallery in North Canton. The Sarshone Auto Group. Find out more at sarshone.com. An official partner of the Cleveland Browns.
Football fans, Mondays just got better. Join Q92 Sports Live every Monday at 11 a.m. for the Pro Football Hall of Fame Luncheon. Watch on our Facebook, X, and YouTube channels as legends from the high school, college, and pro football world take the mic with inspiring speeches and incredible stories. Don't miss a moment. Like, follow, and subscribe to Q92 Sports on social media and catch every Pro Football Hall of Fame Luncheon live every Monday at 11 on the Q92 Sports Network.
From the newsroom, I'm Jeff Mears with this halftime edition of Q92 News. A man has been charged with arson in a fire that damaged a vacant Alliance building. 41-year-old Thomas Jansel of Alliance was also charged with criminal trespassing in the blaze in the 100 block of East Main Street. Firefighters from Alliance and Sebring put out the fire Thursday morning. The building formerly housed pipe organ manufacturer Hill Green Lane and Company, founded in 1898. It closed in 1972. The building has been used by other businesses but has been vacant for decades. 3 years in prison for a Canton woman who stabbed her daughter to death. 49-year-old Terry Niner pleaded guilty to involuntary manslaughter and negligent assault in the July 10th slaying of 32-year-old Ayla Mangan. Investigators say Mangan, who had autism, had the knife first. Niner took it from her daughter during a struggle at a 20th Street Northeast home, during which the younger woman was stabbed. A Stark County grand jury earlier declined to indict Niner on murder and felonious assault charges. She can seek early release after about 1 year. A Stark County grand jury has indicted a man who caused a missing adult alert. Police say 31-year-old Kayla Giltz was taken in a vehicle at knife point from a motel on Sunset Strip Avenue Northwest by 38-year-old Jamie Triplett of Canton, September 17th. The pair were found at the Perry Inn on Lincoln Way East in Perry Township the following morning. Triplett was indicted on charges including aggravated robbery, kidnapping, disrupting public service, and aggravated menacing. The charges include a repeat violent offender specification from 2012. Triplett had been granted early release on those charges in February. A Wellsville man pleads guilty to charges of obstructing justice and tampering with evidence stemming from a murder in the village. 41-year-old Brandon Kessler entered the plea September 19th in Columbiana County Common Pleas Court. Sentencing is scheduled for November 21st. Prosecutors said Kessler lied to police investigating the slaying of 30-year-old Robert Heron of East Liverpool. He was found shot to death behind a garage on 10th Street in September 2024. 34-year-old Gino Wall of Steubenville is on trial for related charges, including aggravated murder. Kessler testified Thursday he threw the alleged murder weapon into the Ohio River at Wellsville. He said Wall told him to get rid of it. The Columbiana County Port Authority officially has a new executive director. Brittany Smith was named to the post Monday by the Board of Directors. She succeeds Penny Trena, who retired April 1st. Smith joined the Port Authority in 2018 as Finance and Grant Coordinator and was promoted to Assistant Director 3 years later. She is a graduate of Salem High School and Mount Union. More news after this.
The Q92 Sports Network brings you more high school football and basketball games than anyone else, by far. But did you know that you can go back and listen to our broadcast again? Simply go to the Q92 radio page on SoundCloud. We've posted the games we broadcast for everyone to go back and relive. We have playlists filled with our high school football broadcasts from 2016 to this season. So go to SoundCloud now, follow Q92 Radio, and listen. And thank you for listening to all of our sports broadcasts of high school football and basketball on the Q92 Sports Network.
The former president and vice president of Youngstown Professional Firefighters Union Local 312 are suing the city's mayor. The civil lawsuit was filed in Mahoning County Common Pleas Court by John Rocco and Jordan Thomas. Mayor Tito Brown is accused of making racist remarks toward Rocco and Thomas during a September 2024 meeting. The suit also alleges Brown claimed the pair were being racist toward him and telling local media they were the aggressors. Rocco and Thomas denied the claims. The suit seeks damages for emotional pain and suffering, loss of professional standing, and harm to their reputation, as well as punitive damages. A domestic violence charge was filed Thursday night against an Austintown Township trustee candidate. 29-year-old Emily Saccone was arrested after a 911 call reported an altercation at a South Edge Hill Avenue home just before 10 p.m. Saccone is also the wife of Mahoning County Clerk of Courts Michael Saccone. According to WFMJ-TV, police found the man with scratches on his forehead and neck and bleeding from a leg wound. 3 children in the home were placed with relatives. Saccone is scheduled for a hearing in Mahoning County Court Monday afternoon. A man is in custody after leading Youngstown police on a chase through the city early today. Around 12:40, officers spotted a vehicle reported stolen from Lakewood and involved in recent events in Youngstown. The man sped away when they attempted a traffic stop. Police say the pursuit reached speeds of 75 miles per hour and the car ignored stop signs. It ended at a home on East Florida Avenue. The suspect ran inside the house where officers arrested him. Police also found a loaded magazine with 9mm rounds but couldn't find the related gun. At Cleveland area home builders, the subject of an indictment alleging involvement in a nearly $3 million fraud scheme. 51-year-old Jeffrey Crawford of Avon is owner of Cleveland Custom Homes. A Cuyahoga County grand jury charged him with passing bad checks. Crawford is accused of taking money from investors with a promise of profit and failing to repay the funds. The activity began in July 2021. Prosecutors say a Cortland man invested $80,000 with Crawford and was given 5 checks that bounced when deposited. Checks were issued between August and December 2023. Crawford is also charged with grand theft and securing writings by deception for depriving the victim of money by deception between May 2023 and this month. At least 5 other people in Cuyahoga and Lorain counties allegedly were affected by the scheme. The 21-count indictment also includes charges of engaging in a pattern of corrupt activity, aggravated theft, telecommunications fraud, and forgery. 6 Ohio projects are receiving $2.1 million in grants from the Appalachian Regional Commission's Investments Supporting Partnerships and Recovery Ecosystems, known as the INSPIRE Initiative. The funds are aimed at improving businesses and preparing individuals for new opportunities in the workforce. Kent State University is getting $100,000 for research and development of a workforce training program in drone operations. It will be for people in recovery in Ashtabula and Trumbull counties. $500,000 is going to Youngstown area Goodwill Industries. It will be used for a 3-phase approach to providing general job readiness and industry-specific workforce training for individuals in recovery in Columbiana, Mahoning, and Trumbull counties. We'll return you to the stadium for the second half of tonight's game, but first a look at the forecast. For the overnight, patchy fog, otherwise partly cloudy skies, and a low near 54. A mix of sun and clouds Saturday with a high reaching 78. Sunday, sunshine, a high of 82. From the Q92 Newsroom, I'm Jeff Mears.
Missed the big game? Don't worry, Q92 has you covered. Check out our SoundCloud page where you can relive every exciting moment. From high school football, basketball, baseball, and softball to Mount Union football and basketball, we've got it all. That's every broadcast from this season and even classics going all the way back to 2016. Follow Q92 Radio on SoundCloud and never miss a play, a call, or the thrill of the game. Q92 Radio on SoundCloud, your home for every game, every season. Looking for your home for local sports? Head over to Q92Radiosports.com, the official website of Q92 Sports Network. Catch every live broadcast of high school games and Mount Union sports. Stay up to date with the latest local sports stories. Check scores from around the area and never miss a game with our full broadcast schedule. It's everything sports, all in one place. Q92Radiosports.com, your local sports connection.
When it comes to sports, Sam Berkwin brings the heat. Catch the Sam Berkwin Show weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. on AM 1310 WDPN and streaming live on the WDPN Facebook and X pages, plus the Q92 YouTube channel. From the Browns to the Buckeyes, the Guardians, Cavs, and your local high school teams, if it's making headlines in the sports world, Sam is talking about it. It's the local sports talk you want. The Sam Berkwin Show, weekday afternoons on AM 1310 WDPN.
You're listening to High School Football presented by Sarshone Auto Group on the Q92 Sports Network.
And welcome back to Robert Fife Stadium. Halftime here between Perry and Jackson. The Panthers lead 14-3. Let's jump into the scoreboard and give you some other scores from throughout the area. Halftime, McKinley 7, the Green Bulldogs 3. So a barn burner out there at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. Louisville 7, Central Catholic nothing at halftime. Most of these scores are at half. That way I don't just keep saying halftime the whole time. Triway 24, Fairless 7, Northwest 7, Lake 7. Oh, you don't have. I was like, I hear you, but I don't. I know. Yeah. Shout out to Jackson as well, bringing us up some concession stand goodies, and it's not necessary, but it's greatly appreciated.
Greatly appreciated.
So we appreciate it when the schools are able to give us something to smash in the short amount of time we have at halftime. So thank you to that. Carrollton 7, Marlington 7, Hoover 14, Glen Oak 7. Newcomerstown 16, East Canton nothing. Manchester 21, Tuslaw nothing. Mississauga, is that how you say it?
I think so.
Mississauga 13, Massillon 2. Orville 20, Canton South 16. The Wildcats coming back in that game.
Right.
Alliance 27, Salem 21. West Branch 35, Minerva nothing. Indian Valley 49, Sandy Valley nothing. And that is all the scores I believe I have right now. Let's check this one here. Did I say West Branch 42 nothing?
No, you did not.
It's 42 nothing. West Branch over Minerva at halftime. So that's going to be a quick one, quick second half there. And I'm going to steal a page out of our good friend Mike Voorhees. Those are my scores, and I'm sticking to them.
Shout out to Mike.
I don't know if Mike can listen tonight. I know he's on. He does a retreat every year.
Yeah, he's not, but still, shout out. Have me on the 330 to Go show today. Had a great time. Thank you for having me as a co-host. But man, had a great time this morning.
I love Mike. Mike was my color commentary for I think 4 years.
So Mike, I think my all-time record when you and Mike were covering my game, I think it was like, I don't know, like 8 or 9-1. So I used to tell Mike, you better go tell Christian that you have all my games from here on out.
And we did. We covered a lot. That's how I got to know you, was going down before the games and chatting it up with you. It got to the point, too, where I was doing so much prep stuff and I was on air at Q92 that I wasn't getting to the games in enough time to come down.
Gotcha.
Mike comes up to the press box and goes, Antonio wants to know why you're so what was the words you used? Why I was so comfy up in my press box I couldn't come down and say hi. So I made it a point every single time we covered McKinley, no matter how running behind I was, to go down on the field.
Well, that means a lot. I did not know that. I'm sorry for giving you a hard time.
No, it was great. It was great. But yeah, we got to know you covering a lot of McKinley games, and then when I heard that you were interested in coming over to Q92 this year, I couldn't have been more excited and happier to be like, I'll take him. And I feel bad for Mike, but Mike and Jay Wilhelm, who call games together, they've done a lot of stuff as well, and they know each other very well. So it just seemed like the natural fit. And you know Jay very well as well.
Very well, definitely.
He's a McKinley guy, good old Jay Wilhelm. All right, let's talk a little bit about the first half in this game. Both teams kind of sluggish off the start. We saw a couple 3-and-outs, and then Perry seemed to kind of get the run game going a little bit. And I think on the drive, the first drive they scored on, we saw Lemon, Shepard, and Hunley all carry the football for the Panthers.
Talk about a 3-punch combination.
Right.
But it always starts up front. And knowing that your best offensive lineman is out this week, they had to shuffle some guys around. So I think it took a little bit of time to get guys used to stuff in game time. But once they settled in, that offensive line has looked really, really good. Hats off to Coach Leisure and his guys up front. Great first half. Let's see if they can keep it going as this game moves along.
And for Jackson, we saw them kind of struggle offensively the entire first half. They weren't able to get the run game really going. They struggled doing what is a big strength for them, is that drop-back passing and letting their speedsters run routes downfield. The pressure from Perry's defense kept preventing them and Lucas Eckerman from feeling comfortable in the pocket. A lot of high throws, a lot of low throws. But the last drive before they stalled out at the end, they were able to protect, and they were able to give Eckerman time. And
big play.
When he has time, boy, they've got some speed on the edges for Jackson.
Yeah, and also very impressed with this Perry secondary. We talked to the coaching staff before the game, and they said that they made some changes in the secondary for some things that they saw in last week's game. They wanted to correct it, so they moved some guys around, and so far it's boded well for the Perry Panthers.
And I knew you were jotting down notes throughout the first half. Is there anything that really jumped out to you, either for Perry or Jackson, in that first half?
Well, I was jotting down a lot of notes for the secondary. I mean, they have one interception, three pass deflections. That one by Lemon was so crucial on that wheel route. But it just seems like they know and can anticipate where those Jackson receivers are going to be, and they're doing a good job bottling them up so far.
And I love seeing adjustments, and I have to imagine that drive that Jackson did have success. They saw some things on that coaching staff that they could maybe exploit a little bit in the second half. So second half adjustments are always crucial. If you're Jackson, what are you telling Coach Rohr? What are you telling these guys at halftime?
I'm telling my guys, hey, guys, we just got to settle in. The couple of times that we did stall out, they were self-inflicted wounds. We got behind the chains. We just got to continue to protect. We have a wide receiver playing running back. He's doing a solid job. We just got to make sure that we don't give Perry any extra opportunities and don't mitigate any opportunities for us by self-inflicted wounds.
And I'd like to see Max Cowles get more involved for Jackson. He's got 17 receptions, 370 yards, and 4 touchdowns on the season. I think he might have had 1 reception in that first half.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see the adjustments for them. For Perry, I don't know how much you really need to change either offensively or defensively. After those first 2 drives, they kind of got into a rhythm. They were more balanced. They were able to get their receivers involved, even though they weren't, big throws downfield. That comeback route that they threw to Foster, was it Foster or was it Wilson? That comeback route to Wilson. I think you keep that in your back pocket and do a little stop and go later in the game to give Wilson some room down the sidelines, because that corner jumped real quick.
Jumped it. I mean, because they've seen on film that if you're going to give those guys cushion with Wilson and Foster, they're going to hit you with the comebacks. They're going to hit you with the slants. And so if they're anticipating that, like you said, hit them with a double move and go deep.
And they're bringing that safety. It's either zero coverage or, just the single safety over the top, and they're playing one-on-one on the edge with those speed guys and not having that extra help. Boy, oh boy, especially when you split them out.
Yep.
You make that safety. If there's a single guy back there, try to decide
am I going to do Foster or Wilson?
Yeah, which one I'm shading to. And Treharns did a good job. Sophomore quarterback. They haven't asked him to do too much.
Exactly, and that's what you can't do with a young quarterback. Don't put the game in his hands. Just pick your shots with him. Use your running game. Get him rolling outside the pocket on some easy throws, but don't expect him to go win the game for you.
And I think that's the big thing, too, that they've moved him outside of the pocket. They haven't asked him to stay in the pocket and read. They're giving him an opportunity because he can use his legs. If that isn't there on the edge and he's able to get to the corner, he's able to tuck it and run if he sees that corner's got his back to him.
Yep, definitely. Also like, too, seeing Perry in that split back formation, this giving Jackson a lot of fits. Because if you have to try to decide if I'm going to if Shepard or Foster or Shepard and Hunley is going to get the ball, I mean, there's a lot to account for when you got 2 dudes back there and they have great drives when they had that split back set.
And we heard pregame that there's a package for Perry that we haven't seen yet.
Yes, yeah.
And
don't tell nobody.
When we see it, we will mention it.
We will let you know.
But I don't want to throw anything out there that that was maybe confidential.
Right.
But
right.
there is a special package that Perry has in their offense, and it's just sitting in their back pocket. And boy, when that comes out too, that'll be fun to watch.
Yes, I hope we see at least a glimpse of that the second half,
just so we can tell everyone what it is.
Right.
I hate leaving the information out there.
The suspense.
Yeah. I don't want to be that guy. 14-3, the Perry Panthers on top. Both teams are out warming up. It is homecoming out here tonight, and that's really cool what the Jackson band did as they make their way off the field, having all the former band members come out and participate and do the halftime performance with the current band members.
Very cool.
I always like seeing that. I love big communities that all show up for football, and Both sides are packed. It's not a far drive for the Perry Panthers to get here in Jackson, and it's a packed house here at Robert Fife Stadium.
My mom played in the Canton South alumni band for years.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, yeah. She was a saxophone player, but I remember as a kid hearing her practice. I know the Wildcat fight song by heart just because my mom. But, yeah, it's great when you have the community come back and, really pay homage to home and just, continue passing that torch to the next generation. It's a beautiful thing, man.
That's the only thing that I don't like about calling games on Friday nights is I don't get to go back and see my old high school play. And
I do.
Yeah, you do. for sure you do. There were I've mentioned it before. I went to war in JFK, and I think we might have a JFK game on our schedule. I'm not exactly sure if
I hope we do.
It wouldn't be us. I think Christian was called. Okay. I think Christian was, and which is fitting though because Christian's a JFK alum as well.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
That's real cool. And shout out to Antonio's mom, who also she brought Coney dogs when we were at calling the McKinley home game, and she gave me some sauce to go home. I smashed that in like 2 days. I finished it. I had hot dogs for like 3 days straight to eat the Coney sauce. But there's this dessert back here.
Peaches and cream cheesecake.
And
it's one of her specialties.
I cannot wait to go home.
You will be smiling all night, I promise.
I feel bad because my daughter is not home this weekend. That's something she's got a sweet tooth. She would love that. But I'll have to save her a little piece.
I'm sure my mom would love to make her own. My mom loves to cook for people. That's her way of expressing herself and showing her appreciation for people, and she does it, and she's always been doing it, and it's just her passion.
I love it. I've been cooking since I was like 7 years old.
Really?
Yeah, I started cooking like Thanksgiving dinner when I was like 12 for my whole family.
No way.
Yeah.
And you ain't invited me yet.
No, not yet.
Man, I thought we was boys.
I almost went to culinary school, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, I was. I decided to go play football at Walsh instead.
Good move.
Yeah. But yeah, a barbecue. I got a smoker out back. I got a flat top. I got a grill.
I am a connoisseur of the grill.
All right.
But cook too, but nothing like you. It sounds
well,
like.
I told you whenever we got a Glen Oak game after the game, if we're over that way.
Oh, I'm coming.
Come over to the house. Put something on the smoker before I leave, and we'll smash some barbecue. Sit out by the fire.
Done and done.
All right. Sounds like a plan. Now that we just planned our date in front of everyone listening.
We're just haters because they're not invited. It's fine.
Have a big old cookout at Q92. Keep telling them we need to get a smoker there and do Meat Fridays, like how Dan Patrick Show does.
Yeah.
Cook every Friday.
And I'll be there every
Friday. Hang out at the station.
I will drive to Alliance.
Like, Sam, you want me on your show on Fridays too?
Right.
I'll join you live in studio.
Live. Let's go.
All right. We do have a football game that is getting ready to start back up here. Both teams are out on the field, warmed up, and we're getting ready for second half action. Jackson will have the football to start the second half. They will be moving from right to left. We are on the, want to reiterate, the visitor side here at Jackson.
For the 9th time, just so everyone knows.
Hey, people, like, you got to
paint the picture.
You do.
You got to paint the picture. Yeah.
And I am sitting at the 49-yard line. And no bugs here tonight. So whatever
don't jinx it, man. Don't jinx it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful night for football.
Beautiful.
Man. It is just absolutely perfect outside. And it is a beautiful night for football as Jackson makes their way out onto the field.
Getting ready to kick.
And they're going to have the ball to start the second half. If you missed earlier, they're wearing their purple pants, purple tops, the white stripes on the shoulders, white numbers, and the yellow helmets. And the Perry Panthers, black pants, white tops with the black numbers, black helmets with the white P on it. On the kick for the Perry Panthers, DiStefano. And back deep for the Jackson Polar Bears. It's Max Cowles back there. And Rocco Norch. Norch had the really long reception for the Polar Bears late in that second quarter. He's back to return. We'll see if we get another touchback or if we finally get a return as both receivers, return men for Jackson, are at the goal line. And the run-up and the kick. Second half underway from Robert Fife Stadium and that will go into the end zone. The Polar Bears will take over 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line.
DiStefano, man, both these kickers are very impressive tonight. Very impressive.
So Lucas Eckerman going to lead his offense back out onto the field. See if we got any more score updates coming in. No, Northwestern Lakes 7-7 at halftime.
Wow. Northwest is tough, man.
All right. Eckerman is not in the game at quarterback. Caller Molleman is at the cornerback position. Corey Jacobs lines up in the pistol behind them. They turn, hand it off to Jacobs. He dances up the middle, breaking a couple tackles, and they will mark him at the 24-yard line. So 4-yard carry from Jacobs.
Good first down run. Not trying to bounce it, not trying to dance at the line of scrimmage, just Kermit up in there, getting 4 solid yards. Now you're in 2nd and medium. Playbook is still wide open.
So Molleman still in at quarterback. Jacobs lines up to his left. Jackson sends 3 receivers to the left side, tight left as well. So 4 wide out set, and they play action, and they hit Cowles on the slant across the 35, 40, and dives down at the 44-yard line. That's the first time we've really seen Max Cowles get into open field in a big game for the Polar Bears.
First half, Jackson runs that same formation. They ran the same action, a counter action, back away from the 4-man side, suck the linebackers up, hit a play action slant right over the middle. Good dial up by Jackson, good first down.
So 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line. Jackson going 3 receivers to the wide side left. Tight end left. Jacobs behind Molleman in the shotgun. Turn, hands it off to Jacobs up the middle, getting across the 40-yard line, and then just a big rugby scrum by both teams. And he will get to the 47-yard line for 2nd down.
So about 2nd and 7, 3-yard gain. But again, you're getting positive yardage. You're getting hard yards. You're making the defense have to tackle you. That's going to bode well for Jackson as they move into the 4th quarter if they can keep this up.
And because they spread it out so much, you have to keep a guy kind of close to the box. And they got an offsides again from Perry. Jackson going with the hard count. And that was Mason Heel with the offsides from that right end position.
Good job by Jackson holding their water. Now that puts them in a 2nd and 2. Now you're in front of the chains. They can pretty much run anything you want. You can do a play action, go deep on this play, or you can just cram it up in there and try to get a first.
I would launch this sucker.
I know the way you think.
Mulliman back to pass. He's looking, and it is going to be picked off. Coming down with the interception, Evan Laubacher was in great position. That pass slightly underthrown. The intended receiver, Rocco Norch, had a step, but the ball didn't get there, and the Panthers defense with their 2nd interception of the night.
That time the ball just kind of hung up in the air. The defensive back had enough time to recover, adjust to it, and he made a great play in the air, high pointing it, coming down with it. Perry keeps the momentum going as we start the 2nd half.
That's one of those throws where you would rather overthrow it than underthrow it.
Yep.
And Molleman just didn't get enough on it. And Perry now with the ball, 1st and 10, and with the running game, if they can get a long drive here, they can eat up a lot of this 3rd quarter.
A lot of clock.
So Shepard in at tailback, and they're going to hand it off to him. He's got room up the middle.
Ooh, good hit.
Gets to the 15-yard line and does take a big pop. That was number 87 for Jackson and number 45. So that's Kaiser and Keegan Stanley with the tackle for the Polar Bears.
Hey, that time Shepard got a taste of his own medicine. That's usually Shepard on the delivering blow on that one. But good job by number 45 coming up. Good form tackle, wrapping his arms and running through people.
Pickup of 3. Perry with that tight trips bunch on the left-hand side. Treehorn in the shotgun. Shepard to his left. Handed off to Shepard. Dances up the middle. Picks up another few and puts them in 3rd and 4 or 5.
With that much? It's hard to tell from this angle.
So they marked him at the
It's like 3rd and 5.
17-yard line.
Yep.
So scoreboard has him at 3rd and 6. I think it's closer to third and 5. He's almost right to that line. Yeah.
Right.
So big third down if this Jackson defense can hold on after that turnover and force Perry to punt. Shepard in the shotgun, in the pistol. Treehard back to pass. He's got a lot of pressure. He's got to roll out to his right. Still rolling. Just has to throw that one away. Pressured from Jackson's Luke Mazon, and a great defensive stand for the Polar Bears after that interception.
Huge defensive stand by the Polar Bears. That was so clutch. But that was the best decision that Treehorn could have made. I know you see a lot of young guys in that position try to force something or make something happen. He just said, you know what, throw it away, punt it, live to fight another day. Great heads-up play by that young quarterback.
Alex Height standing at midfield for Jackson to return the punt. Seth Green on for the Panthers. And he gets a nice high kick away, fielded at the Jackson 47. He's returning. He's got a seam up the middle. He's off to the races across the 30 and finally drugged down at the 23-yard line.
That was picturesque how he hit the middle of that seam, and it just opened up for him. And they had guys converging on both sides, but he was just able to outrun the pursuit. He had one guy to beat, couldn't beat him if he did his pay dirt. But you put Jackson in a very, very good situation to score, starting about the 26-yard line.
And that's about the same spot that they mark him at the 22.
Oh, I'm sorry, 22-yard line. Yep.
So that's about the same spot where the interception happened on Jackson's last drive. So their defense makes a huge stand. Special teams putting them in great field position. 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line. Mulliman still in at quarterback for the Polar Bears. 2 receivers to the wide side right. He bumbles the snap. He's able to get it to Jacobs. Jacobs trying to get to the right edge. Gets around the edge. There's a flag. So that's going to come all the way back. But, boy, what speed by Corey Jacobs. Unfortunately, the receiver on that far side is going to get hit with a hold.
Yeah, and you know the receiver is just reacting to – he didn't expect Jacobs to be way out there. That wasn't the play design. He's just trying to execute the block. But, man, if Jacob gets a crease, he is out of there. Out of there.
So the holding penalty is going to take Jackson back to the 32-yard line, and it'll be 1st and 20 for the Polar Bears. As
moving the wrong way.
Mulliman is still in at quarterback. I wonder if Eckerman is hurt. We saw him leave the game a little bit earlier in the second quarter, or if this is just a coaching decision. But Mulliman in at quarterback. He takes the snap, play action to Jacobs. He's rolling out to his right. He's got Cowles wide open in the flat at the 30. Makes a man miss and gets down to the 25-yard line. So they pick up a nice chunk of yardage after that penalty, and it'll set them up for second and about 5. Oh, excuse me.
Second and 15.
That's the first marker. So 2nd and 15 at the 26-yard line for the Polar Bears. Jackson, go ahead.
I'm saying I'm glad that they're trying to focus now and get Krause in the game because he is the difference maker for Jackson.
So they go empty. Mulliman by himself, 3 receivers to the left. A weird snap Mulliman's able to get, rolling out to his right. He's looking, throws it, and it's caught at the 15-yard line. Spin move. He will lose a yard and go back to the 16. But a good job of Mulliman keeping his eyes downfield and finding Cowles.
Yeah, and Cowles went up there and just got that. There was 2 defensive guys right around him, but he went up there, high-pointed the ball, snatched it, and was able to make a good gain. Great concentration by the wide receiver.
And heads up from Cowles, too, because he was just running a comeback route and saw Mulliman rolling out to his right, and he broke his route off and then shot straight up the sideline.
Scramble drill, yep. And offenses work that all the time. If you see the quarterback break, you get in a scramble drill. So great recognition by the wide receiver, like you said.
So they went from 1st and 20 to 3rd and 4 now, empty with Mulliman by himself, 3 receivers to the left. He's got pressure. He's got to roll out to his right, and I imagine this is going to be another holding penalty on Jackson. That came from the official right behind the linebackers. Oh, it's going to be against Perry. The Jackson offensive line is celebrating. And I think it's going to be against the Panthers. They called a defensive face mask on Perry.
Number 54.
And that is Mason Heel.
That's the second penalty this half.
And that's going to give Jackson half the distance to the goal line and a free first down.
Woo, that's huge. Jackson just got bailed out with that one.
So the Polar Bears inside the RG Drag red zone. And it'll be first and goal from the 8-yard line.
It was just 1st and 20 a minute ago.
Yep. Jacobs to the left of Mulliman. They're going to hand it off to Jacobs. He's trying to get to the right edge. And he is pursued by 3 or 4 Panthers. And he will pick up a few yards. I think he gets to the 6-yard line. And he's knocked out by Jonathan Lemon.
But if he just keeps it in there on that right side B gap, I mean, there's such a huge hole.
Jackson going hurry up now, and they hand it to Jacobs again. This time he gets across the line of scrimmage down to the 5-yard line and is brought down. So a quick 2 plays from Jackson brings up 3rd and goal now from the 4.
Jackson so far has only had 2 field goal conversions in the red zone in the scoring position. They need to do something here to break pay dirt.
So they send 2 receivers to the wide side left. Tight end left. Jacobs to the left of Mulliman. Ball on the right hash. They turn. Hand it off to Jacobs. He tries to go to the right. Has nowhere to go. And is brought down. Great pursuit from Caleb Lawan, who stops Jacobs, and he will lose yards and forces the kicking unit back out onto the field for the Polar Bears.
That time they ran a power concept that was meant to hit inside of that kick-out block. Jacobs tried to bounce it outside again, but Perry was sitting right there waiting on them 2 defenders. You got to cram it up in there and just get what you can get in this situation. You can't bounce it.
Cooper Mazur on for the field goal, and he puts it up and good. A 24-yard kick from the Polar Bears. 3 is better than nothing, as they showed great promise that drive, working the ball downfield. They got some help from some penalties, but get a field goal. It's now 14-6, so a 1-possession game, and the scoreboard went out again.
To me, that's a win for Perry. I mean, that's a win for Perry because you get a huge penalty. You move them in scoring position. They have 3 plays. They don't do anything. You bend but don't break. You give them a shot at 3. You don't give them 7, and you still got an 8-point lead. So I know Jackson's on the board, but to me, that's a huge win for Perry's defense.
Got some more score updates for you. Alliance 30, Salem 21. That game is just now getting to halftime. That might be a little late from good old Sammy B.
Sam said he'd walk out of there at midnight tonight. He was right.
Mount Union Purple Raiders back in action tomorrow on AM 1310 WDPN as they travel to take on Baldwin Wallace. That kickoff is at 1:30 on AM 1310 WDPN. Also streaming live on Q92, on the Q92 YouTube page and the AM 1310 WDPN Facebook and X pages. So if you haven't followed us on our AM 1310 WDPN, go ahead and do that. But also follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X, Threads at Q92 Sports. And the run-up and the kickoff, that will be fielded at the goal line, across the 10, 15, down to the 20-yard line. That was Nazir with the return.
Hoover and Glen Oak now up with 14.
Wow. That game has 1:25 left in the third quarter, so a nail biter at Glen Oak.
Talking to North Canton's offensive coordinator this week, he said that Glen Oak's defense worried him. They were big, they run to the ball, they play good gap football.
Perry with the ball, and that's a handoff over the right-hand side. That was Hunley with the carry. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Good job from Perry's defense, not allowing him to they gave him a gain of 1.
Yeah, that time Jackson did a great job running to the ball. They had about 3 hats on the ball right there for a minimal gain. Now Perry's in the 2nd and 9 situation.
So 4:44 left in the third quarter. Perry 14, Jackson 6. Treharn in the shotgun. Hunley lines up to his left, tight wing left. Man in motion now from right to left. That's Foster. They're going to hand this off to Hundley up the middle, and he'll get across the 25 down to the 27-yard line and set up 3rd and short for the Perry Panthers.
He looks a lot more explosive than he did last week. You know, it looks like he's getting his legs back under him. He just looks like he has a little more to him this week.
A little more confidence as well.
Mm-hmm.
So they bring in Connor Shepard and take out Nazir Foster. So I imagine we'll see that 2 running back set that Perry's had so much success with throughout this game.
Yep, that split back, there it goes.
They're going to put Hundley to the left, Shepard to the right, Wing to the right, and they turn. They hand it off to Hundley. Hundley right up the middle. He's going to be short of the line to gain to pick up the first down. And Perry's going to have to punt with 3:43 left in the 3rd quarter.
That time Jackson shifted to a bare front. They had 5 guys at the line of scrimmage expecting that they're going to run an off-tackle play again, either one side or the other. So that time they had both guys coming off the edge to try to mitigate that play. Great job by Jackson in their execution.
So on to punt for the Polar Bears is Seth Green back deep. Alex Height for Jackson. He stands at his own 42-yard line. End over end kick. Be taken at the 41. He's got room along the right-hand side. Gets across the 50, cuts it back in, tries to bend it back out to the numbers, and is brought down at the 42-yard line. So, again, great field position starting this drive for the Polar Bears.
Yeah, great field position, but can they get in the end zone? You know, so far Perry's done a great job of keeping them away from pay dirt. They have a great opportunity again, but can Jackson break the seal?
And there's an injured player. It looks like cramping on the far sideline, the Jackson sideline, but it is a Perry player, and they've got that leg up in the air, and they're stretching out that calf.
Mm-hmm. Still in week 6, we're cramping.
Well, it's starting to get cooler in the evenings,
Yep.
and it's hot during, when the game starts,
Yep.
and that's when you tend to see this type of cramping. But
Yep.
bananas and oranges.
You know it. Pickle juice and mustard. Let's go.
Ugh. I'll take the bananas and the oranges. And that is Perry's Michael DeSantis, who gets up and jogs off the field on his own power. He hops off the field.
Glad to see him up.
So Jackson will have the ball on this drive. 3:07 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Polar Bears trail the Panthers 14-6. And Mulliman still in at quarterback for the Polar Bears. Eckerman started the game, played most of the first half. He did get injured for a series, came back into the ball game, but coming out at halftime to start the second half, it has been Mulliman. Jacobs lines up to his right, 3 receivers to the wide side left. Back to pass is Mulliman. He's looking, throws it on a little hitch route, caught on the left side, making a man miss, getting across the 30-yard line, a great catch and run all the way out to the 25-yard line. Gino Seismansky with the nice catch and run for the Polar Bears.
You're a man guide out. That was the R2 button twice. Yeah, he made it look good out there, didn't he? Was I freezing people in their tracks?
He was. And Jackson going a little bit of hurry up now. 2 receivers to the wide side right. Jacobs to the right of Mulliman. And a hard catch again. And that is the same guy for the Panthers. That's Mason Heel, who has had 3 or 4 offsides penalties today.
Yeah, that's the hey, come here. Let me talk to you. Calm down, fella.
I just read his lips.
Yep.
That is not PG-13 even.
No, I'm sorry. Coach is over there coaching them up, getting them a little bit, but that's what you got to do.
So coming into the game is Seth Green for the Panthers. Now, if you're Jackson, do you run right at him?
Run right at him.
So Jacobs to the right side of Mulliman, 2 receivers to the wide side right. They're going to roll out Mulliman to that side. He's got a man open. That's Cowles. Catches the ball, makes a great spin move. He loses the football. And they are saying he was down.
Huh.
They're saying Max Cowles was down after the reception. The football was clearly out and recovered by the Panthers.
I know I'm about 100 yards away, but that looked like it was out to me.
It did. And there is an injured player down. I believe that might be Cowles, who's down on the field.
He's up.
And that was Shepard, who trailed the play and made the tackle from behind.
That's the dude you do not want hitting you if he's running in full speed and he got
Right.
about 10 yards a head start. You do not want to hit that guy.
No, we saw him hit at the Warren Harding game
Oh, that
where the
quarterback.
entire crowd did a ooh along with Antonio Nye in the box.
You saw that quarterback's soul leave his body. That was, man.
It's like Doctor Strange where that one lady hits him and his
right.
body separates.
Right. Oh, man.
So the reception takes Jackson inside the RG Drag red zone, 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line. They'll send 3 receivers to the wide side left. Mulliman in the shotgun with Jacobs. There's a wing left as well. They hand to Jacobs. He's going to try to get to the edge. He breaks a tackle, gets to the 10, fighting forward, maybe down to the 8-yard line. It'll be 2nd down.
I understand you're trying to get to the edge, but you're on the far right side, and you're trying to get to the edge on the left. Eventually, you got to plant your foot and get vertical. I can understand if you're running to the short side of the field, but you're not going to get to the edge running from the short side to the wide side of the field. Perry's just too fast.
Especially, too, like he's done that on almost every carry. He's bounced everything outside. If he were to cut it back, that backside seam is going to be open because of the over pursuit from Perry's defense.
Great point spoken by ex-linebacker.
So 2nd down and 7 for the Polar Bears. 3 receivers to the wide side right. Mulliman takes a snap, hands it off to Jacobs. Jacobs cuts it up this time.
There we go.
He gets a great run and into the end zone for the score.
See what happens when you press the hole? Good job.
That is a touchdown run from Corey Jacobs from 7 yards out. And the Polar Bears are 2 points away, and they're going to leave the offense out onto the field to go for 2 and try to tie this one up.
Smart move. Everything in on the card, as we call it, says in this situation you go for 2, especially at this point in the game. But, man, just a great job. Finally, Jackson taking advantage of the great field position they started with. Got it done on the ground, got it done in the air. They mixed it up. And the running back hit the hole, pressed it, and was able to get the pay dirt.
Jackson goes empty, man in motion now. That's Jacobs. Mulliman rolling out to his right. He throws it in the end zone, and it's picked off. Is that Jonathan Lemon? It is Jonathan Lemon with the interception in the end zone. And it's 14-12. Perry with the 2-point lead. 1 minute remaining in the third quarter.
How valuable is Lemon to this team?
He's huge.
I mean, not only on offense, but, you saw him with a huge interception last week, a huge batted ball on the wheel route to stop a touchdown in the first half. I mean, this guy's coverage is airtight.
And because Hunley is back, we haven't seen Lemon in the backfield as much this game, and that keeps him fresh for the defensive side of the ball.
Yep.
Same thing with Shepard. Having Hunley back from that injury makes you a more, I guess, dynamic team because you've got guys who are getting rest on the offensive side who are able to focus their attention on the defensive side of the football.
Exactly.
All right, 14-12. Perry still leads, but Jackson's right back into this ball game. 1 minute remaining in the third quarter. You've got Lemon and I believe that's Wilson. Or is that Foster? I can't tell back there on the left. That is Foster. Nazir Foster. And the run-up and the kick. And this kick will go out of bounds. So talk about special teams and field position. That's going to give Perry the football all the way out. Was it the 35-yard line? So we'll see what Perry's offense can do back into this game. Hasn't been able to do too much here in the second half. Had a couple 3-and-outs, had some drives stall out, and Jackson's been able to take advantage of it. So 1st and 10, Perry at the 35-yard line. The Panthers moving from left to right. They'll set the ball up on the right hash. Jonathan Lemon now in at tailback. Tight trips bunch on the left for the Panthers. And they check with the sideline. Treharn in the shotgun sends Lemon to his left side. Takes the snap. Play action. He's looking. He throws this one deep to Wilson. Wilson trying to make a catch, and there's going to be a flag on the play. That's pass interference. That's going to be on Max Cowles.
Yep.
And it is pass interference. Now, I don't necessarily agree with that call. I understand why they did it.
Right, I was just thinking the same thing.
Cowles was kind of going for the ball at the same time that Foster was, but
right. But the thing is, he didn't look for the ball. He just played the man. So they consider that face guarding. But at that point, if you're coming from the wide side of the field and trying to make a play, you're just trying to get a play on the ball. So, again, I may not necessarily agree with either, but like you said, I see why they called it.
Yep, I completely understand it. And that puts Perry out 1st and 10 at right at midfield at the 50-yard line. They go wing left, tight left, wide receiver out by the numbers on the left-hand side. They're going to turn, hand this one off to Jonathan Lemon up the middle. He gets 2 yards and then is suplexed backwards.
He was suplexed.
That was the linebacker for for Jackson, Keegan Stanley. And they will give him a gain of 2 on the carry. It'll be 2nd and 8 from the Jackson 48-yard line.
Perry coming out and running counter the first play back to the wide side of the field, but Jackson sniffed it out and made a good play on first down.
And Perry breaks the huddle, sends 2 receivers to the right, winged left, receiver left. Man in motion now was Foster. A little miscommunication. They hand it off to Lemon, but Lemon gets a great run out of it as Foster went in motion. And I don't know if they were supposed to fake it to him and hand it off to Lemon, but Lemon gets the carry and puts him in the 3rd and short at the end of the 3rd quarter.
That was a quick 3rd quarter.
It was a quick 3rd quarter. And we've got a doozy of a 4th when we come back. Perry 14, Jackson 12. Perry with the football in Jackson territory when we come back. It's high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92radiosports.com.
The weather might be getting cooler, but Tasty Cream on Navarre Road is just heating up. Open all year, Tasty Cream is ready to serve you fresh-made specialty burgers, Stark County's best conies, deep-fried mushrooms, crispy French fries, and so much more. To top it off, their ice cream selection continues to grow. Special flurries, homemade root beer floats, amazing brownie sundaes, and over 20 flavors of hand-dipped ice cream. Order online at tastycream.com or check out their Facebook and Instagram pages for events happening each month.
This is head coach Spencer Lino from the Perry Panthers. You're listening to high school football on the Q92 Sports Network.
And we are back at Robert Fife Stadium. 4th quarter action just about to get underway. The Perry Panthers now moving from right to left across your radio dial, across your TV, across your computer screen, across your phone. However you're listening to us, thank you. I'm Ryan Keller. This is Antonio Hall. Perry with the ball. They go with that split backfield. They hand it off to Shepard. Shepard just bouncing off of linemen, both offensive and defensively, and he's going to be stood up short of the line to gain and will be a huge 4th down for the Panthers.
Great job again by Jackson's defense on the 3rd and short. They walk in that tough look, that bare front. They were able to sniff it out and get Shepard down behind the line of scrimmage, which is not an easy task to do. But great job by Jackson so far in the second half on defense.
And they're going to bring the punting unit out for the Perry Panthers. Seth Green on to punt for Perry. Tight back for the Polar Bears. He stands at his own 13-yard line. Punt away. Good high spiraled kick, but not as deep as they might have wanted it to be. That's going to be, by the time that official walks up, I'm going to say 22, 23-yard line. And I was wrong. I think they marked him right at the 20-yard line. So Jackson moving left to right. We'll have this drive at the 20-yard line. 1st and 10, 11-14 left in the ball game, trailing by 2. And, you know, we said this game could come down to kicking.
Sure could. 2-point game, 4th quarter.
So Jackson huddling up on their own sideline and then coming out as the whistle was blown to play. They'll head straight to the line of scrimmage. Carter Mulliman still in at quarterback for the Polar Bears as they go empty. 3 receivers to the wide side left, single to the short right. Mulliman by himself takes the snap. He's looking left. Comes back to the middle of the field. That's caught. Going up and bringing that down right around the 34-yard line was Rocco Norch for the Polar Bears. Good toss and catch for the first down.
It looks like the halftime adjustment for Jackson is not to stretch so much vertical on the perimeter, but to try to get those soft zones in the middle of the field. So they do a lot of crossing routes, a lot of stop routes in the middle of the field. It's worked out well so far the second half.
Jackson almost got Perry to go offsides again. That was Dominic Walker who almost jumped for the Panthers. As Jackson checks with the sidelines, 3 receivers to the wide side left, and they swing this out to Cowles over the left-hand side. He's going to lose yards. He will lose at least 1, as that pass was behind the line of scrimmage on a little wide receiver bubble, and he's going to, a loss of 1 on the carry or on the reception.
Who was that? 16
for
Perry.
Mason Kintz.
Is that 16 out there at safety? Because he did a great job blowing up the point man on that bubble screen and just drove him back into the ball, into the wide receiver, but he drove him back about 10 yards. That's how you defeat a bubble pass right there.
I think that's Evan Lawbacher.
Yeah, let's do his Lawbacher.
Yeah, as they hand this one, Jackson hands it off to Jacobs as he gets through the line. I'll cross about to the 40-yard line. That's a good hard run from Corey Jacobs, who he's finally starting to turn up into the line of
north
scrimmage.
And south instead of running east to west.
So sets up a 3rd and 3 for Jackson. 9:40 remaining in the ball game. They've got 3 receivers to the wide side right, 2 to the short left. Mulliman by himself in the backfield. He takes the snap. He's looking, throws it to the side, caught for the first down right at midfield.
Jackson just has a different presence right now. I mean, they seem so much more comfortable. Milliman has time. The receivers and quarterback are on the same page. They just look a lot different than they did in that first half.
Yeah, they're more confident throwing the football, and they're giving time to Mulliman as he delivers that strike to Seismansky and gives Jackson a first down at the 50-yard line. They've got 3 receivers to the right. They hand this off to Jacobs in the backfield. He'll get across midfield to the 49-yard line, so a gain of 1 on the carry.
That's okay. You're keeping the defense honest. You had a couple big pass plays. Defense starting to soften up a little bit. You try to cram it up in there. It wasn't a big gain, but the defense still has to honor the run.
9 minutes remaining in the ball game. Perry 14, Jackson 12. They go 2 receivers to the wide side right, single wide out left, wing left. Corey Jacobs to the right of Mulliman in the backfield as they check with the sideline and adjust the play.
Looks like Shepard's coming on the X.
And they turn, hand this one off to Jacobs, and he has nowhere to go in the backfield, dances around, and is lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. A lot of pressure there from Perry. It's kind of like Perry's like, we're not going to let you beat us running the football, and they're really pursuing on the run.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and that's what Perry wants to do. They want to stop the run. If you're going to beat us, you're going to beat us through the air. So Perry's trying to make it one-dimensional, but the past couple drives, Jacobs is able to get something going because he's getting vertical as opposed to going east and west.
So a big 3rd down, 3rd and 10, right at midfield for the Polar Bears. 2 receivers to the wide side right, wing right. 2 receivers to the short left, and we're going to have a timeout called by Jackson. That's going to be their first timeout of the half.
Big down right here.
This timeout is brought to you by Friends and Family Credit Union. It's time to bring a friend into the family. Let's jump in and see if we've got some more scores coming in to the scoreboard. A whole bunch. Missed a whole bunch. Here we go. McKinley 21, Green 3.
It's only a matter of time for that Pups offense gets going. They do it every week.
43 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Canton South on top of Orville, 37-27.
All right.
Alliance 36, Salem 28.
Wow.
Still 14-14. Hoover at Glen Oak. Hoover driving, 5:30 left in that ball game. Minerva gets on the board. However, it is an absolute blowout. The West Branch Warriors 56, the Minerva Lions 6. Boy, that's tough.
Yep.
All right, we're back here. A huge third down at Robert Fife Stadium. Jackson Polar Bears 3rd and 10, right at midfield. They go empty backfield. 3 receivers to the wide side right, 2 to the short left. Mulliman in the shotgun. He's adjusting the play. He's shifting Jacobs further out. Jacobs now out past the numbers near the boundary. Back to pass is Mulliman. He's looking, throws, and it's picked off. Perry with the interception, coming down with it. Evan Laubacher. That's his 2nd pick of the ball game.
And he just blew that play up a couple plays ago. Laubacher, this whole secondary is playing lights out today. That time the pass just sailed on him. He had to throw. The deep slant was there. He just put it over his head. Laubacher was able to read it, come down with it. Another turnover for Perry.
Perry's defense has been all over the place here tonight. That's 3 interceptions on the night, 2 of them from Laubacher. And it gives the Panthers the ball 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line. 7:48 remaining in the game. The Panthers up 14-12. Treharn in the shotgun. He turns, hands it off over the right-hand side, and to the races. You can say goodbye. Jonathan Lemon to the 20, 10, 5, touchdown Panthers. Straight ISO right up the middle, and Jonathan Lemon goes 71 yards for the score.
He hit that hole like he was at a track meet and the gun just went off. He was in 5th gear. Everybody else was in 2nd. That was a great job getting north and south, not bouncing, not cutting, just going north and south. Hit your head on the goalpost, touchdown. Nothing hurts you more than a turnover with a quick score. Huge momentum shift for Perry.
And the extra point is up and good. You could have driven a Mack truck through that hole. It was just immediately green. The safety was shifted over to the left side. There was nobody back there to even stop him.
Nope.
What a run from Jonathan Lemon. And now the Panthers lead 21-12, 7:37 left in the ball game.
Great job by Perry's offensive line on that drive, that one-play drive. Huge hole coming off the ball. I mean, that's how you want to come out after a quick change. Score quick. Now you got all the momentum. Now Jackson has to do something to dig themselves out of those holes.
Now, but if you're Jackson, would you rather them score now than have I mean, obviously you don't want them to score at all. But the fact that they did score quick is maybe a little bit of a benefit because now you have your offense more time to get back out there and to try to get a quick strike of your own.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could look at it that way, but I'm not trying to give up a quick score on the first anytime.
Yeah.
But, I mean, but at least now you have more time, more clock to work with. I mean, you're looking at a 2-score game now. So, I mean, wait. Yeah. So you still need to score twice. So, I mean, you got 7.5 minutes. You got to do a lot on offense with Jackson. We'll see what happens.
Like my thought is, as opposed to a long drive that eats a lot of clock and then they get in and they only leave you like 2 minutes and you're still down 9. This is, I guess, a better alternative. I don't know.
But we'll see.
As the kickoff goes into the end zone for a touchback. So Jackson will have the ball 1st and 10. And we've seen Perry's defense a lot of times on deep throws get hit with pass interference penalties. We've called a couple Perry games throughout the year, and they struggle covering that deep ball.
Exactly.
If you're Jackson, just get up and let it rip. The last couple times you've tried to go deep, you've either got a completion or a PI out of it.
Right.
See what you can do. I mean, what do you have to lose at this point?
Right. Well, I mean, he did throw 3 interceptions too. So, I mean, but yeah, I mean, try to get a one-on-one matchup, a single receiver matchup, use the formation to do that, and just let it fly.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. Carter Mulliman, the 6'5", 200-pound junior wide receiver, is in at quarterback, and they go empty. He drops back to pass. They hit a little wide receiver screen, breaking a tackle across the 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, finally driven out of bounds. That was Corey Jacobs, the running back, who they put out into the left side, and there's an injury on the far sideline, right around the 42-yard line. There's a Panther down, and it looks like another cramping issue as they're out there stretching that calf.
Got to hydrate.
See if we got some more scores coming in. I do. Let's see here. Hoover 21, Glen Oak 14, 157 left in that game. Glen Oak went 3 and out on their last possession. Canton South leads Orville 44-27, 10:33 left in that game. So Jack Andes scored for Hoover by doing a 29-yard quarterback keeper for the touchdown. So it's Hoover football, 157 left in that ball game.
And that was the wrinkle that their offensive coordinator said they were going to do a lot of wildcat, put Andy back there, let him create, and so executed nicely, it sounds like.
And the good thing for Hoover is Collins is only going to be out, I think, next week and should be back. So that's a promising, wasn't a season-ending injury that we've seen happen a lot of times to Hoover quarterbacks.
Right.
So Jackson with the football, 1st and 10 at the 45. Mulliman takes a snap, rolls out to his right. He's looking, pump fake, huge block. Mulliman's going to take it and run on his own. That's a big hit. Coming up was Foster putting a big hit on Mulliman. But what made that play and made it so that Mulliman could even get any yards was a huge block from Corey Jacobs.
Great block by Jacobs right there on the right side as Mulliman is rolling out. Was able to get Mulliman some more time. He saw nothing was there. He put his head down and was able to get 4.5 yards.
So Jackson going hurry up. 3 receivers to the wide side left, single short right. Jacobs in the backfield. Mulliman, he's back to pass. He launches this one deep and through the hands of both the defender and the receiver. That was Jaden Wilson with the coverage.
Wilson almost came down with that.
And that was Micah Regenball out there who had it go through his hands too. So it literally went through both the defender and the receiver's hands. And it sets up a 3rd down now, a huge 3rd down. If you're Jackson, it's easily 4-down territory.
Got to be 4-down territory.
So 3rd and 6. Ball at the 49-yard line. Perry showing pressure off the edge. They back out of it. Mulliman rolling out to his left, throws it into the flat. That's caught. Just get north and south if you're Jackson, and he will pick up the 1st down.
Just got it.
Szymanski with the reception and moving the chains for the Polar Bears.
Nice job. Nice job recognizing the situation, knowing where the chains are at, and getting enough for the 1st.
So 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line of the Panthers. 6:40 remaining in the ball game. Perry 21, Jackson 12. Jackson sends 3 receivers to the wide side right, 2 to the left. Empty backfield for Mulliman. He's back to pass. He's looking to the right flat. That's a long pass.
A long pass.
To the far right sideline that will go incomplete. That's a hard throw to be accurate with and to make. He threw that ball from the left hash out of bounds on the right sideline.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's tough for any quarterback to do, let alone a high school junior.
And even if it was caught, it would have only been about a 2-yard gain.
Hey, right.
That was a long throw. So sets up a 2nd and 10 for Jackson. Jacobs on the left of Mulliman. 2 receivers to the wide side right. They turn, hand it off to Jacobs right up the middle across the 40, and they'll put them in 3rd and reasonable. Again, a good run from Jacobs. 3rd and 5 for the Polar Bears.
Good downhill run by Jacobs. Not dancing, not cutting, get north and south, was able to get a big chunk right there. He's looking really good the second half.
I know he's not a running back. He is the wide receiver playing running back. But the quicker he can learn there's the hole there, just to hit it, pick up 2 or 3 instead of 1 or minus, he's going to be a lot better. Empty backfield for Jackson. Mulliman back to pass. He's looking, throws this out wide open on the right side. Caught across the 30, 25, brought down at the 24-yard line. And that, again, was Micah Regenball with the reception on a big third down to move the chains. The only thing is clock is still running, 5:50 left in the ball game.
Got to move.
Because Jackson will need to score and get the ball back. Even a field goal here for Jackson
keeps them in the game.
It does. So they go 3 receivers to the wide side left, single short right. Jacobs to the left of Mulliman. They hand it off to Jacobs. This time he's going to be able to get to the edge across the 20. Takes a big hit. Coming up was Foster taking a big hit at Jacobs. But Jacobs is going to pick up the first down and move the chains as Jackson now inside the RG Drag red zone, 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line, so they can still get a first down without scoring.
Jacobs is juiced right now. He got up full of energy and intensity. He took a lick, but he got right back up. Let that defender know that didn't faze me. I'm ready to run it again.
Ball on the right hash, 3 receivers to the wide side left. Perry was showing blitz pre-snap. Jackson's checking with the sidelines.
Yep, showing that edge blitz from the wide side of the field where the trips are.
That's DeSantis who was showing blitz. This time he stays back. Mulliman back to pass, throws it to Jacobs in the flat. He gets around the edge across the 10 and goes out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Smart play there to get out of bounds, stop the clock at 5:25.
Very smart. Heads-up play, knowing the situation, getting out of bounds, stopping the clock.
And it gives your offense a little bit of time. They've been going kind of hurry up here.
Yep.
Gives them a little bit of time to get a breather. I'd let this play clock run down and inside, 5-7 seconds before I snap the football, just to give these guys a little bit of a rest. A long drive for Jackson here.
Quads.
They've got 4 receivers to the wide side left. Jacobs by himself. They turn, hand it off to Jacobs. Jacobs is trying to get to the edge. He turns it up and into the end zone for the touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown run from Corey Jacobs, and Jackson is still in this ball game with 5:19 left.
Jackson lines up in quads or 4 wide receivers to one side. Jacobs able to bounce it outside to the quads. That inside receiver, the number 4 receiver, has a good seal block. Once he gets it past him, nobody's home. Touchdown.
So this is a really big extra point as well, which will make it a 2-point game. Snap back, hold down, kick is up, and it is good.
Still a ball game, folks.
So Cooper Mazier with the extra point. It's 21-19. And we're going to step away and take a break. I need some water. It's high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 Radiosports.com.
High school football exemplifies the true meaning of teamwork. At Friends and Family Credit Union, our team of local friendly professionals offer the same true spirit for our members. With a wide array of products from vehicle loans to personal loans, family secure checking with ID Protect, mortgage, home equity line of credit, and more. For over 60 years, we have the game plan for your financial well-being. Visit any of our 3 convenient locations, online or mobile banking. Now, more than ever, it's time to bring a friend into the family.
You're listening to High School Football presented by Sarshone Auto Group on the Q92 Sports Network.
And we are back at Robert Fife Stadium in Jackson. Perry Panthers lead the Polar Bears 21-19, 5:19 left in the game. A great drive from Jackson. Only took a couple minutes, like 3 minutes off the clock as well. So a good quick drive and onto the scoreboard for the Polar Bears as this kickoff will hit and have to be fielded at the 5-yard line and getting to the 10-yard line and out of bounds. A great kick from Missouri and forcing Perry to have to return that and only getting out to the 10-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great kick. It hung just enough. It sat just enough. He had to field it. And by the time he did, Jackson was already down there to make a play. So now Jackson has to drive the length of the field to score. But if then I'm trying to eat up as much clock as possible, and at worst, flip the field to make Jackson drive to go ahead for a go-ahead score.
And if you're Jackson, you know they're going to run the football.
Right.
You knew they were going to run the football the last time.
Right.
And then Jonathan Lemon went 71 yards to the house without being touched. So it's this is a big drive. A key point of this game, 5:15 left. Perry 21, Jackson 19. Treharn takes it, hands it off right up the middle. He will pick up only a few. They're going to mark him down at the 12-yard line. Jonathan Lemon with the carry for the Panthers.
So he got about 3.5 on that first down run. Good job of that center of that Jackson defense being stout, not giving up much push. Good job of the linebackers filling right now and getting downhill.
So second down from the 13-yard line. Lemon to the left of Treharn in the backfield. They turn, throw it out into the flat. That's caught by Foster. Foster across the 15 and falls forward across the 20, and that should be enough to move the chains for the Panthers with 4:38 now remaining in the game.
Haven't called Foster's name much on the offensive side of the ball tonight, which is surprising because, I mean, he's a guy who you want to get touches.
Jackson with 2 timeouts remaining. Perry with all 3 timeouts in this ball game. And Perry's going to take as much time off the play clock as they can. It's down to 10 seconds now. Lemon behind Treharn. Man in motion now. That's Foster. They fake to him. Hand it off to Lemon. He goes right up the middle again, breaking a tackle all the way out, across the 40-yard line. Mark it down at the 41, Jonathan Lemon. This is what happens when you've got 3 running backs and you can keep one of them fresh for these key drives late in the game.
That was the same type of play they scored that long touchdown drive on in the last series. Offensive line did a great job blocking back. Gap control, was able to seal that front side. Backside A gap was wide open, and he hit it with a head full of steam. Great job.
And he got tripped up. Like as soon as he got through the line of scrimmage, it kind of stumbled and then regained himself. If he'd have hit that with speed, I don't know if anyone was going to catch him.
Exactly.
Lemon again, turn, hand off to him. This time he's bottled up. He'll still fall forward and pick up 3 on the carry. It'll be 2nd and 7 for the Perry Panthers at the 44-yard line.
At this point in the game, I'm on the sideline yelling, ball security, ball security, ball security. Just make sure you keep 2 hands on the ball at all times. Keep it high and tight, especially when you're going through traffic. Don't give Jackson a chance right now.
So Perry taking a lot of time off the clock. 3:12 remaining in the game. They could take this all the way down to 3 minutes before they snap it.
I would.
They send 2 receivers to the left, single wide out to the right, Lemon to the right of Treharn. Foster goes in motion now from left to right. They fake to him, give it to Lemon. Lemon's immediately hit and brought down in the backfield. Will Angel Martinez coming through and making a great stop in a 3rd and long now for the Panthers.
Big play for this Jackson defense. Huge play.
So here we go. 2:40 remaining in the ball game. 3rd and 9 for the Panthers at the 42-yard line. Their 42-yard line. Jonathan Lemon in the shotgun. Well, behind Treharn in the shotgun. Now he moves to his right. They motion Foster from left to right. 2 receivers on that side. Single wide out left. Treharn back to pass. He's rolling out to his right. Throws it out in the flat. And it's caught. Caught for the first down at the 43-yard line of Jackson. And that moves the chains for the Perry Panthers.
Great job by that wide receiver understanding, hey, I already got the first down. I'm right by the sideline. I got guys coming at me. I'm going to go down right here to keep this clock going. Great heads-up play, situational football by that wide receiver, Wilson.
Yeah, great job from Wilson. And Jackson will take a timeout with 2:16 remaining in the ball game. And because he did go down the way he did, it forced Jackson to use their second timeout.
Exactly.
So good heads-up play by the young man, Wilson, 6'3", 162-pound senior receiver.
Yep. Great heads-up play.
Let's see here. McKinley 21, Green 3. That is a final.
Okay.
Lions 36, Salem 28. 10 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Canton South on top of Orville 44-33. 8:17 left in the 4th. Northwest 10, Lake 13. 5:40 left in that game. Wow. McKinley game got done quick too.
Right?
Poor Sammy.
I know.
He's got to get up early to drive to Baldwin Wallace tomorrow. Mount Union Purple Raiders on the road at B-Dub tomorrow. You can catch all that action on our sister station, AM 1310 WDPN, also on the Q92 YouTube channel and the AM 1310 Facebook and X channel as well. So lots of different opportunities for you to check out the 13-time national champion Purple Raiders.
13.
They're looking good this year, too. New
They
quarterback, young quarterback. He's very poised in the pocket. They've got a lot of experience on the edges, an experienced running back, and this is probably going to be their biggest test in the OAC.
Mm-hmm.
John Carroll, don't even get me started on them leaving the conference.
I know, right? I mean, that's just so much tradition just left.
Right?
Yeah.
So Connor Shepard in at tailback. They're going to hand it off to him up the middle. He'll pick up a yard or two and then fall forward for maybe an additional yard. And another timeout from Jackson. That's going to be their last timeout with 1:35 left in the game. This timeout is brought to you by Friends and Family Credit Union. It's time to bring a friend into the family. We're actually going to step away and take a quick break. When we come back, final 1:35 left here. Perry 21, Jackson 19. It's high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group. Q92 Radiosports.com.
Looking for quality glass and mirror work you can trust? At Cardinal Glass and Mirror in Canton, we handle it all, residential, commercial, and industrial. From window replacements to custom glass and custom mirrors, we've got you covered. We're a small, locally owned business, and we live by one promise. If we won't put it in our home, we won't put it in yours. Call today, 330-478-0075. Visit us online at cardinalglassmirror.com or stop by at 1857 Whipple Avenue Northwest in Canton.
This is head coach Spencer Lino from the Perry Panthers. You're listening to high school football on the Q92 Sports Network.
Welcome back to Robert Fife Stadium. 1:35 left in the game. Perry with that split backfield again. Huntley and Shepard. They hand it off to Shepard. Shepard breaks through and picks up the first down across the 30-yard line, and that should be it.
That's sealed the deal right there. Again, great job by that offensive line. You know what's coming, but Jackson still can't stop it. Great job all night by that offensive line up front.
Jackson out of timeouts with 1:28 remaining in the ball game. And I think Perry, all they have to do now is come out and take a couple knees, and this game is going to be over.
Just got to get the snap.
So clock is down to 1:10. They might take a timeout here. So Perry runs it down to 1:04, 1:03. I think they let an extra 2 seconds run off the clock after that whistle blew. But I don't think it's going to make a difference as Perry takes the timeout. Once again, this timeout brought to you by Friends and Family Credit Union. It's time to bring a friend into the family. 1:03 left in the game. Perry leads 21-19. A huge first down run from Connor Shepard, which puts them in a position to basically ice this game. And it was a back-and-forth game. You kind of feel Jackson's offense would have got going a little bit sooner in that first half, that it would have been a little bit of a different outcome. Still wondering if everything's okay with Lucas Eckerman, who started this ball game, and coming out at the second half, Carter Mulliman was the starting quarterback, and we saw Eckerman leave late in the second quarter, and then came back into the ball game. So I'm not quite sure what happened there, but Mulliman did a great job coming in for the Polar Bears and trying to bring his team back. And Treharn takes a knee. And Jackson took a time. I thought Jackson takes the timeout with 1 minute remaining. I thought they were out of timeout.
I thought so too.
I thought they took one very early on in the third quarter and then two on this drive already, but apparently I'm wrong. So now they are officially out of timeouts with 1 minute remaining in the ball game. And I believe Perry just needs to take two more knees, correct?
Yep.
So it'll be 2nd and 10. See, it is I'm going to say this. It is a running clock at Paul Brown Tiger Stadium.
On the Tiger?
Massillon is losing 34-2.
Are you serious? Wow.
Yeah, 34-2. Got some finals coming in. Hoover 28, Glen Oak 21. As Treharn takes another knee for the Perry Panthers. And 46 seconds left. And congratulations to Coach Lino. This is his first Federal League victory. As they are set up at the 30-yard line, Treharn goes under center for one last time. Takes the snap and the knee, and that is going to be it. Your final score, the Perry Panthers 21, the Jackson Polar Bears 19. Congratulations to Coach Lino, his first Federal League victory, and the Perry Panthers get back onto their winning ways, going 3-3 on the season. Jackson is also can't be. Hold on. Jackson's going to be 3-3, and Perry goes to 4-2 on the season. So there we go. And now Perry takes the all-time series lead, 33-32-4.
Wow, very cool.
Jackson's won the last 4 games, so this Perry team breaks a 4-game winning streak for the Polar Bears as well.
Nice.
We're going to step away and take a break and chat a little bit about this before Coach goes down and talks to some of the players and coaches. Our final score, Perry 21, Jackson 19. It's high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 Radiosports.com.
RG Drag, Stark County's premier career center, offers programs that prepares its students at the high school level for careers and continued education beyond high school. On completion, RG Dreg students have an immediate opportunity to obtain a well-paying job in many exciting career fields. We offer everything from culinary, dental assisting, engineering, sports turf and landscape, welding, and so much more. Contact RG Dreg to find a program and career that's the perfect fit for you. RG Dreg, where careers begin.
From the daily driver, a heavy hauler, to a high-end auto investment, the Sarshone Auto Group is one of Northeast Ohio's leaders. With 6 locations, Sarshone Ford in Alliance and Randolph, Sarshone Chevrolet in Randolph and Garrettsville, Sarshone Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Dalton, and the Sarshone Auto Gallery in North Canton. The Sarshone Auto Group. Find out more at sarshone.com, an official partner of the Cleveland Browns.
You're listening to High School Football presented by Sarshone Auto Group on the Q92 Sports Network.
And welcome back to Robert Fife Stadium. Your final score, Perry 21, Jackson 19. Coach, we saw both teams kind of struggle offensively at the start of this game. Halftime, saw some adjustments come out. But, I mean, Perry just kind of stuck to what they had done all night long. You know, run the football, short little out routes, some slant routes, but that running game has just been so dominant for them so far this year. And now that Hunley's back into the mix, you saw Lemon fresh late in the fourth quarter, breaking that 71-yarder.
Yep, and you can't forget about their defense. I mean, they come up with 3 interceptions, especially at a couple key points of the game. They were to capitalize when they needed to capitalize. Offensive line came on second half, really opened up some big holes. So, yeah, I mean, Perry's back in the W column, and to come on the road after losing 2 games in a row, knowing that you had a 4-game losing streak, this is a huge, huge win for that Perry program.
Yeah, and speaking of the defense, you know, when Eckerman was in the ball game, they got a lot of pressure on him, didn't make him comfortable to throw. I think in the second half when Mulliman came in, they kind of had an idea that they needed to throw the football a little more. You didn't see that pressure from the defensive front because they were dropping guys back and in coverage, and that turned out to be a great decision with the 2 turnovers in the second half.
Definitely. I mean, great job playing coverage and just, you know, understanding that they had to move some guys around on the offensive line for Perry, had to move some guys around in the secondary for Perry. So not really sure what was going to happen tonight, but both groups stepped up in a big way for the Panthers.
And next week we've got a list of games. We are going to be at Hoover for McKinley Hoover next week. Both teams undefeated in the Federal League. That should be a good one.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Hoover's still going to be without their quarterback, so that's going to be a huge deficit. But definitely excited to see that matchup. I circled it on the calendar. It's going to be a fun one.
Orville at Northwest, Akron, Manchester at Fairless, Fitch at Perry. This Perry team's going to have a tough battle next week against the Fitch Falcons, who are one of the best teams in Mahoning County.
Definitely. Fitch is back. They look great. They've had some big wins this year. They got a lot of skill, a lot of speed. So Perry's going to have their hands full.
Glen Oak at Green. That's a good game. Maybe Green can finally start to get things going a little bit tonight. Who did Green have tonight?
McKinley.
Oh, that's right.
Yep, 21-3.
So Green struggling at the beginning of the season. Up until tonight, a lot of their games have been very
within
close.
4 or 3 points, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So that's a one to look forward to next week as well. On our sister station, Carrollton at Alliance. That should be a good one as well. Seeing the Warriors take on the Aviators, and Jackson at Lake. I think this Jackson team could give Lake a little bit of a run for their money next week as well.
I think so too. Especially if Jacobs continue to run the ball like he did in the second half. Depending on who's at quarterback next week, that's going to be a lot of the telltale. But Jackson definitely has some weapons on offense if they can get him the ball.
So that's a lineup of next week's stuff. I don't know. You got any final thoughts, Coach?
As always, man, it's been a pleasure. Had a great time.
I can't wait to go home and smash that peach crumble cheesecake thing, whatever it is. Peaches and cream cheesecake.
You'll be thrilled, trust me.
I'm looking forward to that. So, yeah, thanks all of our sponsors. Sarshone helping us bring you guys high school football every single week. Coach is going to head down and get some interviews with some of the players. Make sure to follow us on all our social medias, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, X. All that stuff is going to be up on our social medias tonight. I will be posting it tonight so that you guys can have it all right there at your fingertips. Thanks to our friends and family credit union, RG Drag, and, of course, the Sarshone Auto Group for letting us bring you guys high school football every single week as part of our Score 7. Mount Union Purple Raiders in action tomorrow on our sister station, AM 1310 WDPN, also on the Q92 YouTube channel and the 1310 Facebook and X. Kickoff 1:30. Sam Berkwin and Ryan Bevere have that call. Mount Union travels to Berea to take on Baldwin Wallace. We will see you guys next week. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Once again, our final score from Robert Fife Stadium in Jackson, the Perry Panthers 21, the Jackson Polar Bears 19. This has been high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 Radiosports.com. Have a great weekend, everybody. Stay safe, be kind, hug your loved ones. For Antonio Hall, I am Ryan Keller. Good night.